Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kickoff show for the finale episode for the top 100 greatest survivors. I'm Adam. I'm the director for the Kickoff show. We have Stacia here, who's going to be keeping track of donations. More on that later. We have the survivor specialists, Phil and Alexa. And, of course, we have survivor legend who played in Cook Islands, Micronesia, Philippines. And we're happy to announce he's coming back for season 41.
Yes, Survivor okay. Old folks. Jonathan Penner. Hi, guys.
Hi, Penner.
Nice to meet you.
So, Jonathan, thanks so much for joining. How are you doing today?
Thank you for asking, and thanks for inviting me. I am doing okay. The smoke is down here. I'm in Los Angeles. We don't have the air quality is better today than it's been. The heat's better. It's been a rocky couple of days, and I send all my best wishes to everybody else out here and everybody out there who's locked into COVID. I think it's, for an old guy, what we're doing here is incredible. You have the 5 of us spread across the country, literally, and I know that all of you out there are spread around the country as well. That we can all get together like this to celebrate Survivor together is amazing. Science fiction, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm doing okay, and I'm here. I want to thank you guys for letting me talk a little bit about ALS and using this extraordinary platform to bring a little bit of awareness, and to ask you folks, if you have $1, $1 million, anywhere in between, that would be great to donate to the cause of fighting ALS. And I'll talk very briefly about it only because we're here to celebrate Survivor and not to be bummed out, And I'm not a bummed out person. I'm actually a very happy person. And my wife is a very happy person who just happens to have a hellacious, debilitating disease. And ALS is a disease that no one's quite sure why it does this, but it scars. The S is for anyway. The S is about scarring. The ALS is about scarring the nerves that affect your ability to move your own muscles. So there's a number of nerve systems in the body, right? Some which help you feel pain or pleasure. If you burn yourself, you move your hand, and if someone touches you nicely, you feel good. All those nerves are one kind of system. The other system is the nerves that fire and move your muscles, that let me do what I'm doing now. And if you have ALS, those nerves get scarred up and you can't move your own muscles. And it's a terrible, frightening disease because you start to feel that you're losing control. And Stacy used to do this. I still have control. And then she couldn't do it anymore. She would, it was frightening for her. And now, unfortunately, Stacy is completely locked into her own body. And even though the disease does not affect your mental state, she literally can only move her eyes. She can't even blink, which is a different set of muscles, right? I'm blinking. She can't blink. She can't close her eyes. She can't swallow. She has a towel in her mouth. People have asked, like, what's that thing in her mouth? Because she can't swallow, and so the saliva either pours out of her mouth or pours back down her throat, which would give her pneumonia. It's terrible. It's a rotten fucking disease. So we are doing our best to obviously help her in her hour of need, and we are raising funds, and we did this wonderful fundraiser. Yul and Tony and all the survivors, winners of war helped, and we raised about $300,000 for 3 different charities. One is a charity that does cutting-edge work on finding a cure and treatments. They're in Massachusetts, the Healy Center. One is also in Massachusetts, and it's an organization that helps patients and families that are struggling with ALS. They come into your house, into your life, and they say, and it was scary too, because this guy came in, he's a wonderful guy, Ron Hoffman, who's become my friend, and he said, you're going to need help in the tub. She's not going to be able to get in and out of the tub soon. She's not going to be able to get up and down the stairs. She's not going to be able to do all of these things that we were like, are you crazy? And within 6 months, Stacy couldn't do almost anything. And within 9 months, she had a tracheostomy and a vent placed, so she couldn't even breathe on her own. Her capacity to move her own lungs had been so crushed. So this is an organization that helps families and patients. And the other organization is the ALS Association, which lobbies Washington and local governments to try to get help You know, give more money to ALS research. Give more money to the people who really need it. So those are the three organizations that we support, and that if you can contribute anything today, you will be supporting as well. And you have my sincere thanks and Stacy's sincere thanks. And as a kickoff, we talked about if anybody donates $100, it's a lot. Please you don't feel obligated to donate more than $1. Don't feel obligated to donate anything. But if you give $1, thank you. If you give $100, I will answer your question right now live. That's my monologue. I'm boring myself, so I'm done talking. That's ALS. It sucks. Let's fucking beat it. And thank you for letting me talk about it. And welcome to the 10 greatest survivors of all time, which somehow I didn't make that list of the 10 greatest. How did I miss that? I'm number 72 or something. I don't know.
72?
No, I don't know, Alexa. Which number?
I had you.
54, I believe.
You were a top 10 greatest exit, that's for sure, in Survivor Philippines. Yeah. I mean, that is epic. It's very theater. I loved it. It's my favorite. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why you weren't in the top 10. I don't know.
I know
Ask
why.
Adam.
I never won. I kept losing and shooting myself in the foot or getting my knee screwed up. Or, you know, I mean, I was a loser. Mm-hmm. I was an enthusiastic loser on Survivor.
I mean, your vote for Denise is one of my favorite votes I've ever heard. Just the scream. That's my favorite.
Denise. Yes. That was one of my favorites, too. I was so pissed off. Well, because I blew it. I blew myself up. I should have been in the final 3. I probably should have won if I had not missed the turn. I was so tired from fighting for my life out there, you know, and the vote went, you know, it bounced off me and it went to RC, and then I had to figure out what the hell I was doing, and I never really figured it out. And they all came to me and said, like, you want to work with me? And I'm like, give me, just put a pin in it. Let me just think about it for a minute. And that was my opportunity, and I missed it. So bad on me. My fault.
Hey guys, if I could just chime in here for all the people watching. If you would like to donate now, the link is down there. It's the very first link at the top of the description. It's very easy. You just click on it, click on how much you want to donate. Any donation, big or small, counts. As Penner said, if you're willing to donate $100 or more, you can ask Penner anything you want. He'll give you a shout out right now live, and that goes for the rest of the night. No matter who is on live, if you donate more than $100, you get the chance to ask a question for whoever happens to be on the screen at the time. Your donations will go to the 3 different ALS foundations that Penner mentioned to help against...
Yeah, they're all nonprofits, guys. This is all going directly to benefit folks with ALS, okay? So thank you, and thank you. Sorry, Adam, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, absolutely. So
here we go.
I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really fun event. This is going to be a really fun time. I'm happy that we have Penner on to start it off. I'm glad that it's all for a good cause, and I'm glad we kind of come together in a time where we don't know when Survivor's going to come back. We don't know if it's going to be. It looks like it's not going to be till fall 2021 or something like that. But I think it's great that we're able to get so many survivors to come on to kind of speak and bring everybody together in a celebration of the top 10 greatest players of all time. I think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, especially for the next 3 hours, where it's just going to be nonstop interviewing and talking to some of your favorite players of all time. I'm excited because I'm just a fan. So this is going to be excellent.
Penner, if you could give us your top 5 or your top 10 off the top of your head, who would you have?
Top 5 or 10. Jeff Kent.
Love it.
Is not no. You know, I mean,
top exit again. Top exit.
Top exit. He was pissed. I mean, you know, but again, listen. This is interesting. The survivor gods get to choose. What I find is, and that's why I got to play 3 times. Not because I was a great player. I honestly don't know why I got to play 3 times. No, I don't. They kept asking me back, you know, and I did okay, but I never did better than top 7, right? So why because they thought I had more game in me, I guess, and I proved that I didn't. They actually got as much out of me as they could get. But, you know, so you get Rob, you know, Boston Rob. Well, he didn't win till his 3rd time, 4th time, you know, and they knew that he had a win in him. They knew that he had that game in him, and they wanted to let him play it. They wanted to see what he could do. Parvati as well. I believe Russell as well probably has a win in him. Unfortunately for him, because he played such a Russell Hantz game is how I'll put it, right? He may have made that impossible for anyone, either for them to invite him back and he could speak to this, I have no idea, or for anyone on the island to trust that he could do that. Tony was able to extraordinarily, and he's in one of the top 5, because he was able to take a perception of himself as a guy who got blown out number 2 or 3 the second time he played, right? They said, we can't have this fucking guy on the island. There's no way. We got to blow him out of here. He was able to come back and turn the tide on that perception and go all the way to the win. That, to me, was an absolutely extraordinary thing that he did. You know, the Queen, absolutely. The Queen is one of the greatest players of all time. She, you know, the fact that she kept coming back like Muhammad Ali, saying, I still got another win in me, she should have let it go at the time that she won 2. She did win 2, you know. Jonathan Penner, not in the top 10, but he talks a good game. Boy, he can talk a lot.
Top 70.
Top 70. Certainly in the top 70. I don't know. So did I say 5 or 10 people? There's, you know, Cerise, a great player. But again, we think of these folks as great players because they get brought back. Yule is a great player. I mean, what Yule did, the way that he stayed in there and kept his tribe. You see, what's not talked about in that season, when I jumped and Candace jumped, we had the numbers 8-4, but we had the most dysfunctional, toxic petri dish of a tribe. And that other tribe pulled together, and Yule was able to really hold them together in a way that they could march on to victory. And then he turned me because I was so pissed off and disgusted with the other guys, you know. And maybe I could have gone to the final 3 with Candace and Adam. Maybe I could have, you know, if they had talked to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, that's an alternate history of Survivor. What Yule did was amazing, and he only got blown out as early as he did on season 40 because of the buff pull or the mix up and just bad numbers, you know, which is also what happens out there. Sometimes the swap just doesn't go your way and you get blown out, you know.
My question to you would be, who was the most underrated player you played with? Because you played with some of the all-time greats, especially on Cook Islands, Denise, Malcolm, all these players. Who would you say is the most underrated you played with?
Well, I think Denise doesn't get, you know, Denise, and how far did she go the second time she played? You know, she's an extraordinarily good player, right? And a brilliant tactician, a brilliant social game player, and is given, you know, not enough credit because she played a relatively quiet game. Certainly the first time, she literally had to put her head down, do her work, and not get voted out. And, you know, at the end of the game, she popped up, and she's like the least unlikable person. The most likable person. You can't not like Denise. You want to put her in your pocket and take her home. You know, she's the sweetest person in the world. That's how she comes across. I'm sure she can be diabolical, and she pulled a move or two on a season 40 that showed that. She felt that she had to show that. Underrated players, Sekou Bunch, I guess, was highly
love that.
You know, I mean, no, I don't know. You know, Billy Garcia. Billy Garcia was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he, you know, one of the things that's rarely talked about, maybe it's not necessary to talk about, but the first couple of days when your whole body is changing and acclimating to being on Survivor, eating differently, having the stress of the challenges and new people and all of this, it's very, very stressful. And I think he just didn't have a chance to get his shit together. You know, he probably would have. Was he ever going to win the game? No, but he was great. He deserved to be out there. You know, he's still wearing the same clothes as far as I can tell.
Hey, Jonathan, sorry, I hate to cut you guys off. We have, we can make this next question our last one, but we have our first $100 donation from Dan McDowell. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, man.
He wants to ask. He wants to ask, who is the one player who, no matter what, you would always want to align yourself with?
Yule. I mean, I can say that without question. You know, Yule is the most trustworthy. He's the greatest guy. And the problem for being a great guy is that nobody really believes you're that good a guy. You know, nobody really believes that I'm as honest as I am, right? Maybe now they do. Maybe now they say, you know what, this is great, $140. Thank you, everybody. You know, I actually really try to tell the truth. I can't say I tell the truth 100,000% of the time, but you know, everybody's assumed like he's not telling the truth. You can't trust him. I don't know why. I always told the truth. Yul tells the truth. You know, Yul is a guy that if he says, I want to work with you, you will know that you will go to the end of the game with Yul. So I'm sorry, it's a simple answer, Dan, and I could torture myself. I could take off my shirt for the $100. I'd probably do that, but but that's not what you asked me to do. So I'm just giving you the straight skinny. I hope that satisfies Dan. It would be Yul Kwon in a heartbeat.
Awesome. Well, Jonathan, thanks so much. I think we're going to move on to our next guest. We have a bunch of great guests coming, so hopefully we'll see you later on in the show at some point. If not, no worries.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, man. Cheers, guys.
All right.
Bye, Jonathan.
All right. You have a good one. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who donated so far. Just wanted to remind you that the link is down there at the very top of the description. There was an error. We put a comma there instead of a dot. So a couple people were going to a wrong link, but it's fixed now. So donate. Again, throughout the night, if you do $100 or more, you can ask anything to whoever's on the screen at the time. And with that, we are happy to welcome our next guest from Survivor's Millennials versus Gen X. Everyone say hi to Sunday.
Hi, Sunday.
Hi,
Sunday.
so long time no see.
I know, right? Been a whole less than 24 hours since Sunday and I were hanging out.
Absolutely. Sunday, how are you today?
I am really good. How are all of you guys?
Great to see you.
It's great.
You
I'm
too.
excited.
This is just amazing. I can't believe you guys put this whole thing together. Adam, Russell. I mean, I just watching Jonathan before I jumped on, and I just think, what an amazing way to support him and Stacy, and the Survivor community, just amazing. That's amazing.
It feels like every time we need something, everybody's able to find a way to come together on this. And I've been getting a lot of entertainment from all of your cast members with the Sunday Survivor buffs and how they've been promoting those. Hannah Shapiro is going for an acting career, clearly, because every time she posts something, I just laugh at it because it's amazing.
Lots of dog pictures showing up. Lots of dogs apparently like my buff, so that's pretty fun. It's pretty cute and amazing. But the Survivor family and community, not just the players, they really get behind people when they need it, and that's why tonight's important too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Sunday, while we have you here, I know we had you do the intro for one of our top 100 videos where you gave us an update on your status with your cancer treatment. If you wouldn't mind, I know we'd all love to hear what's the news? How's it going for you?
Well, I saved this announcement for tonight. If you've been keeping up at all, you've seen I've been kind of announcing that my numbers have been declining, which my doctor's been very surprised. They've been going down as fast as they have. So my tumor marker started at 170. Don't ask me what that means. It just basically is measuring how much cancer there is. I was going
to ask, but I won't.
I don't know what baseline is, but 170 is not good. And after treatment 3, I was down to 80, and the next treatment 46. And I'm so happy to say tonight that I found out after my last treatment, my numbers were down to 27.
Oh my God.
This is really good news. It doesn't mean the cancer's gone. It doesn't mean I don't have a fight in front of me, but I will tell you that it's not just the chemo bringing those numbers down, because my doctor is amazed at how quick they're coming down. So, and someone just donated. That's amazing. So yeah, 27, and I have prickly hands and I have neuropathy a little bit, but I just got to look at the positive and find positive in every situation. That's what I'm trying to do. So.
That is
amazing.
Congratulations.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. It's just like awesome.
Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your updates have been fantastic, and I know the entire community has really rallied behind you and behind seeing all of the improvements. So it's absolutely fantastic to hear that's continuing to trend well.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And, I don't know, tonight the focus is really on on Stacy and ALS, but I appreciate so much the opportunity to get to share where I'm at and how things are going. And even from the first time that Russell invited me and Adam to come and share. So I appreciate that platform so much.
How do you feel about the list that's been being thrown out there? How you feeling about what's left for the top 10?
Oh, I mean, you can't really argue with it. I can't, you know, I don't get much into arguing numbers. I like mostly the placement where people are at. My favorite player is Monica Culpepper. And did she make the list? I'm trying to remember. I've been keeping up on them.
93.
Okay, so she got in there. She's my favorite. But I was so happy to get to talk about Zeke, David, and Adam. They're all such different players, but all really good in their own right. So I love stuff like this. I think the episode's been great. Adam's done an amazing job. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to rate other players when you're a player yourself. But obviously the winners, you know, they stand out. And not some of us who are not winners. I'm a proud member of the 7th place club. I'm not gonna, you know, deny that.
Proud member.
We're starting it off with a lot of 7th placers. We had Penner on first. That's a 7th placer, and I mean, I think that's good company. I don't think it gets much better than that.
That's true. That's true. And like I told you last night, Phil, I like to say I made it to day 35, not 7th place, because it sounds way better.
Great point.
It's a great, especially if you only followed in the earlier seasons. Day 35 essentially meant you were 4th or 5th place. Like, you were really up there. So, I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good. Especially being my kids told me, Mom, whatever you do, don't be the first person voted out.
You were not. So you checked that box pretty quickly.
Check.
What did you think about where David and Adam came in on the list?
I think David could have been a little higher. Nothing to take away from Adam, because I think Adam did an amazing job, but I thought David could have been a little higher. But like I said, I'm not one to be like nitpicky about the numbers. If for me, I would just be like happy I made the list. So I respect all of them. I think David could have been a little bit higher though, but you know, I got to watch him firsthand, and him, you know, and Adam and Zeke, all amazing players. So
there you go. Do we have questions that came in here? It looks like the total amount has been going up like crazy. Do we have questions here that we need to ask, Stacia?
Wait,
we missed one for Penner by accident.
Yeah,
came in a little late. So if he comes back, we'll do it. Most of the donations have been anonymous. So
yeah,
but that's awesome.
Well, I'm great to see that people are donating right off the bat here. $329 already, and we're 23 minutes in, and it's just going to keep on getting crazier and crazier as we go on. We only have what, 3 hours, 2.5 hours left? 3 hours left? That's it. We only have 3 hours left.
Everyone, hope you ate your snacks. Hope you went to the bathroom.
Yeah. No, don't go get snacks while I'm on.
Yeah, everyone's saying here. That was 23 minutes ago. Now we're all set.
Okay, good.
But
I got my own bowl of trail mix here to keep me through the show.
Good job, Adam.
trail mix and an apple. That's all you need.
Oh, you're good.
Sunday, how did you feel about the this is a little side note, but how did you feel about the trivia game that you got to ask the questions for? I know you were you slightly impressed with the Survivor fans and their knowledge of random facts?
Oh, slightly. I don't know how. You played too. Like, how do people know this information? I would have been like negative 30 if I played that game. I probably wouldn't have even known my own answers. I mean, I think I know stuff. I thought I was a fan until I went on the show, and then I found out there was this whole world I was unaware of. So, yeah, I was very impressed, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sunday did a Survivor trivia game, and a bunch of fans were competing, and she had some of the questions from Millennials vs. Gen X, and people knew what the name of the island in Thailand was. And I was like, what is happening today?
I would guess that for weeks and wouldn't know.
I don't know. How do people keep track names of tribes? They all sound the same. I could never. Oh, yeah. Very impressive.
I have no idea.
And I love the show. I thought I was a fan, but not apparently not.
Whole new level.
You heard it here first, everybody. Sunday is a filthy casual. Alexa?
Stop! No! No! No.
Phil, how did you do in that?
I did pretty bad, honestly.
Yep,
I did pretty
you
bad.
did.
21 minus
Confidently.
Yeah, 21 minus 12 is not 7.
I kept waiting for him to put his head on his hand so he knew an answer, and he never knew any of the answers.
Nope.
That's okay, Phil.
But what did I know Sunday? What's the most important thing?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Remind me.
I knew how many kids you had. There was the question of how many kids does Sunday have, and I was the only one. So
yeah,
Phil did his homework.
Yeah,
I answered the important
one. Impressive. That was the most important.
Your Survivor wiki page before logging on.
Absolutely.
Oh, who does that wiki page anyways? Because sometimes I try and change it, and they change it back.
Like they're correcting you on what you know about yourself.
Yeah, I don't like some of the stuff they write on there. Yeah, but it's okay.
So for anybody who runs the Survivor Wiki, if you're tuning in, make sure to DM us later, and we'll see if we can adjust some things.
Yeah, take that official cast picture off because it's horrid. Yeah,
I'll have to go check it out later.
Oh my gosh,
we'll put it up on the big screen.
Yeah, so people are still giving, right? I mean, if people just gave a little bit, everyone doesn't even have to give a lot. It's going to add up so fast because there's so many Survivor fans, I'm sure, that are watching right now. I'm not what's the word? I can't even say the right word. I can't figure out how to run the answer in the live chat and talk at the same time. But I'm sure there's a ton of people in the chat talking.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the live chat for sure. There's a lot happening in front of me right now. So.
Oh, good. Well, I hope that includes a lot of money coming in.
That's the one thing I can't see. Aisha, I hope.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
right now the total's at $329.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, Sunday, we really appreciate you stopping by, and we hope more good news comes from your treatments. And thank you so much for stopping by and talking Survivor with us for a bit. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your continued donations. Just a reminder, throughout the show, you can click on the link at the very top of the description. Send you right to the donation form. You can leave a question, or if you want to shout out. We can't guarantee that you'll get your question answered, but if you donate at least $100, I will personally promise on my life that we will get your questions answered in some way. Thank you for the donation so far. We're going to try to keep it going. The next guest we have up, and we've been saving this one for a while. As you know, this list was not made by Russell, even though we get lots of comments every week. 5 people made this list: myself, Alexa, Phil, Russell, and Corey Conway, the mysterious 5th list maker. He's a super fan of the show, and no one knows who he is yet, but it's time to reveal the man behind the curtain. Corey Conway, everyone. Corey, thanks so much for joining.
Hey, Adam, thank you for having me.
Pleasure to meet you, finally.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you all, too. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Got a lot of questions.
All right, let's skip the small talk. Corey, you had Sandra Diaz Twine at number 21. The floor is yours to explain why.
Trying to be nice before we yelled at you.
Well, I will admit that she could have been placed within probably a 5 spot, a little higher. But here's the thing with my list was I did take what people did over all their seasons, and I sort of took that into consideration. And then one of the things I started to do as I got down into the top 30 or so was I started to add another element to it, and that was I wanted to really think about the greats, the great players, and say how they brought their personalities into the show. And I wanted to really be able to know who they were as a human being. And as I watched Sandra over her seasons, one of the things I couldn't quite get sometimes was, who is she as a person outside of Survivor? What is it about her life outside of Survivor that she brings into the show? And so she's like a chameleon, and that's great on her part. She's a chameleon. It won her the game 2 times. She's one of the greatest players ever. And I think if she only played twice, I think I would have had her way, way, way higher up on my list, and she had just won twice. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm like, who is she as a person outside of Survivor? I don't know. I don't know. Who is Sandra Diaz Twine?
And at the end of the day, I know we've kind of, I know we've kind of joked about it a lot, but at the end of the day, 21 out of 590 is not a bad ranking at all.
No.
Adam, you're giving him too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I had her a little higher.
She should have been way, way higher because she won the first 2 times. And I feel like I do know Sandra. I feel like she's sassy. She likes to mix it up with people. And we do get a lot about how this was her job and her husband was off in the military, and that's why she was wearing the hat. So we get like a little bit of her background. Look, I'm fine with anybody putting anybody anywhere because we all have our reasons. But I don't know, man. I was shocked when he said at 21. I was expecting, like, when he revealed who Corey Conway was, I was expecting, like, I don't know, Johnny Fairplay to show up and it just be him being like, I gotcha. One
of the things I did want to say real quick, guys, is it has nothing to do with Russell. Absolutely nothing to do with Russell at all. He just reached out to me one day. I'm a nobody. I'm not a YouTube personality. I'm not a Survivor player. I'm a nobody. But he reached out to me because I'm one of his most active Patreons. And he was like, do you want to be the one to do the list? And I was just like, sure. Sounds like fun. So, and that was the end of it. Like, there was nothing like that in terms of anything to do with Russell and his whatever Absolutely. It might be with Sandra. So
Absolutely. Hey, Corey, do you have your list in front of you by any chance?
I have it. You know what? I don't have it on my. I have it on my phone. Let me pull it up real quick.
I was going to ask if you wouldn't mind just running. You don't have to explain their placements, but if you wouldn't mind just kind of running through your top 10 real quick.
Sure, I have them right. All right, guys. So.
And during the recap show following the finale, as well as throughout this show, me, Phil, and Alexa and Russell will also be revealing our own personal top 10s.
All right.
As well as the recap show. So who's your top 10, Corey?
I have Yul Kwan at number 10. Okay. I have Amanda Kimmel at number 9.
Okay.
I have Todd Herzog at number 8. I have Russell at 7. Tom Westman at 6. Sarah Lacina at 5. Boston Rob at 4. Sari Field at 3. Tony Vlachos at 2. And Parvati Shallow at 1.
Interesting.
And where was Troyzan on your list? We were kind of struggling with that one a bit.
Oh, I had Troyzan, I think, somewhere way in the back of the list. I think I had him somewhere at, like, I can't remember where exactly I had him. I just had my top 10 available to me.
Corey, I can answer the question for you. You actually did not have Troyzan on your top 100 list.
I did not have Troyzan. Okay.
Which caused Troyzan to fall to the number 100 spot. And before we let you go, we want you to explain why Troyzan wasn't on your list. But we don't want you to explain it to us. We want you to explain it to Troyzan.
Hey there, Mr. Know-it-all.
Troyzan, how are you doing, man?
I could be better there, Corey. I got a bad feeling. I got a smile on my face, but
okay.
No, I'm not going to give you too much shit, but I am a little shocked that I'm like I had to be like. Actually, I figured out like how I got to 100. If there's 5 people voting, and I averaged out, like I had an idea of what Phil had me at, and what Alexa had me at, and what Russell had me on, and I think Adam even had me off of his top 100. So you guys would have had to have me at least at 200 or at 150. So I'm like, no. Where the hell? I'm like, what? Really? Okay, well, I can explain myself on why I think I'm not at 100, but I'd rather have someone tell me why I'm not.
Well, to be honest with everybody, and Troy, the one thing I would say is it would have to do more with the other 100 players than it would have to be more so about you. It wouldn't be anything bad about you as a player. I guess I would say it would have to be more about the 100 people I had on my list something about them that made them make the list rather than you not making it.
Well, let me ask you something. Did you have Zeke on your list? I'll go through some list of names here. Did you have Zeke? Did you have Andrea? Did you have Ty? Did you have Aubrey? Did you have Sierra Easton? Did you have Malcolm? Did you have Ozzy? Did you have Sarah? Did you have JT? Did you have Sari? Did you have Sandra? And did you have Tony? Because guess what, buddy? I beat all of those people. So that's saying something. It might not put me at 50. It might not put, but it doesn't put me at a freaking 100. There's no possible way. And there's people on there that played one time. And I don't know what they did. I went through like their list. I'm thinking like, what did they actually do to go ahead of me? Not like I'm happy to be at 100 because I'm happy to be on the list. I should say, not happy to be at 100. I just am shocked. Like all of those people that I just named are all ahead of me. So I'm not sure if if I played them and I beat them, how am I at 100? And I played actually against two of the best players of all time. Sarah, which you just named, and Kim. And I also played and beat Tony and Sandra, who are on your top list. I beat JT, who's going to be a top 10. I beat Sari, who's going to be a top 10. I beat Sandra, who's going to be a top 10. And Tony, who probably will win. I beat those people, so it's saying something. It's not just saying like I'm nothing or I'm at the bottom of the list. That's all. I mean, that's what I really have to say. And there's a lot of people on the list like have a question about, where they, I've only played twice, but it's like, I don't know if people are basing it off of gameplay, if they're basing it off of like their personalities, because some people that are on this list, I think if I would have had a podcast or a YouTube channel or a bunch of followers on social media, I would have been all the way up there at 50, because some people that have a podcast doesn't mean that you're a great player.
Whoa, what does that say about me here, Trevor? You taking shots at me, Troy?
I'm just saying, like, just
because it's about roasting Corey, not me.
Yeah, we're on your team. There's someone in the chat.
I'm saying that if you played Survivor and that you have a bunch of people on social media, that doesn't mean you're a good Survivor player just because you have a bunch of followers. Or if you have a YouTube channel or you have your own TV show or you have a podcast, that doesn't mean that you're a good Survivor player. That means that you're relative to the people that are watching. It's like, Johnny Fairplay, loved the guy to death. He's played twice. He sucked his second season. He got dead last. He's at 17. Now, that's shocking to me. I mean, and he did one thing. Granted, he did something that was phenomenal and that no one will ever forget. Does it deserve to be number 17? I don't know about that. I'm not quite sure about that. If it's
let me hear.
I don't know if you guys are, like I said, is it gameplay? Is it challenge guy? Because, one guy's a challenge beast, but he sucks. Sari is not a challenge person. Sandra's not a challenge person at all. And so, but they're way up there. They're way up there.
I want to hear Corey's rebuttal here, Troyzan.
Okay. Corey, Corey, if I met you, I'd shake your hand, buddy. I mean, I'm that kind of
Absolutely.
And it's raising money. This is raising money.
Keep going, guys. Keep fighting.
Troy, I'll tell you this. You are one of the most entertaining players that I've ever seen on the show, but I did not take the entertainment value and personality, like the coaches and Courtney's, and so I didn't take those and factor them as highly into my list to push them up way, way, way higher.
Right.
But I remember watching One World, and I was rooting hard for you to crack through that female alliance that they had built. I remember thinking to myself, is it possible for us to see another Chris Dougherty? Right.
I was thinking the same.
Troyzan, for what it's worth, there's someone in the comments who said, Troyzan from One World was my computer screensaver. So you might have that over everybody.
Okay. I just wasn't, honestly, when I saw it, I'm like thinking, okay, Corey and Adam, I'm not sure what they were watching. If they were watching Total Drama Island on the Cartoon Network, or was it Love Island, or Bachelor in Paradise? I'm not sure if you're watching Survivor. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion. I agree. I can give that, because, it's like being on the show. Everyone has their own opinion of, even if we polled survivors, I'm more like, if Jeff Probst himself put me at 100, I'd be bummed. because I actually pulled up a letter, or it was actually an interview that Jeff did for TV Guide back a few years ago, and this guy asked him, he's like, listen, in all seriousness, who are some of your favorite players? And it's not in terms of most entertaining, but from a viewer standpoint, but the ones that you really watched and respected how they played. Jeff's answer was, oh, there's tons. And I'm going to annoy some people that I leave out. But at 11:30 at night on a Tuesday, here are a few of my top people in my head. Boston Rob, Poverty, Sandra, Cochran, Coach, Sierra, Kim, Malcolm, Philip, Troyzan, JT, Tyson, Stephanie LaGrossa, Stephen Fishback. So there you go. I don't care. You can put me at 100. If Jeff puts me in that category with those people, I'm good.
That's all that matters.
That's all I got to say about that.
So Corey, thank you so much for joining. I hope you realize it was all in good fun. And
absolutely, always.
We absolutely respect your list. I'm sure I have controversial picks. Phil does. Alexa does.
I'll do.
Everyone has their own opinion and watches the game in a different way, which is honestly what makes the game of Survivor so great, that everyone can watch and choose their favorites and have different.
Corey, I'll play again and win. Maybe you'll stick me in like your.
I was gonna say we need you to come on again, Troyzan. We need you to come on again. We need to win the million this time.
Okay, no, be good, Corey. I'm just giving you some shit, but I'm smiling while I'm doing it.
It was great to meet you, Troyzan. Thank you.
Okay,
Corey, thank you so much. You have a good one. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks. It's nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Nice meeting you, Corey.
Yeah. I didn't say hi to this Stacia.
Hi, I'm Stacia.
Stacia. Oh, sorry. I'm just reading Stacia, but Stacia.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Stacia, how are you part of this group?
I'm keeping track of the donations and
okay.
And that we're answering everyone's questions that come our way.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. My next question is, Alexa, where's your microphone? I can't see it.
It broke. I need to get a new one.
Oh, okay.
Especially we're gonna be podcasting for the rest of the night. So hopefully these AirPods are getting the job done.
So this is a 3 hour before the reveal. So we don't really know who the top people are yet. We don't have an idea. Are you gonna reveal it to me or no? I don't get to know.
Adam, maybe you could send a little text to him.
You're gonna have to wait till 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern, just like everybody else.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. That's all right. I mean, Adam, I'm glad I got to make my point though, because it's like there's a lot of good people that were on my season that I don't think people realize. Like they're all in. I mean, the majority of the people that I played with are on your top 100, and 4 of the people that I played against are in your top 10, and they might be in your top 5.
Hey.
So there you go. Just something.
I had you in the 70s, Troy.
Something to consider. Hey, I appreciate the 70s. I figured that if I put myself in it, I'd be around 70 something, because I'm like, I'd have to put all winners. I'd have to put all winners first for myself. I would actually put all winners, like 40 people, and then I would consider 4-time players the next, and where they stand with me. And then 3-time players, that's how I would look at people in a sense, unless there's some 1-time player that's like, oh my God, which there are a few 1-time players that I kind of go, they're a little high for me on your list.
Well, sure. Well, Troy, we wanted to thank you so much for joining. We have a bunch of more guests we want to invite on, and we just wanted to say thanks for joining and helping us raise some money for the Fight Against ALS. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I wish I could say hi to some of these other knuckleheads, but that's okay. Say hi to Lex for me. Miss that guy. Who else is coming on that I know? Wendell. Who else you guys got? You guys had a list of people that
got a good list coming up.
We got a lot.
We'll say hey for you.
Okay, well, I guess I can watch. Can I watch them later?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a good day. My Raiders won, and I'm going to go watch a little bit of Tom Brady.
Well, go enjoy that.
Later,
I wore my shirt.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Bye,
see you later.
Okay,
thanks so much.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for the continued donations. Just wanted to remind everyone, at the very top of the description, if you click on that link, it's very easy. You can choose how much you want to donate. If you donate at least $100, we'll guarantee that whichever survivor is on the screen will answer any question you want, no matter what it is, even their social security number. They'll give it away, $100. Next up, we have a Survivor legend who we haven't seen come on for quite a bit, but he's still in the hearts and minds of any true Survivor fan out there. He came in 3rd place on Survivor Africa and returned again for Survivor All-Stars. Everyone say hi to Lex. Lex, how's it going?
Can't hear him.
Oh,
Lex, you can't hear you.
All right, we're gonna redo that, Lex.
We're gonna. That's all right. We'll keep him going. I'll keep the hype up. I had him at number 40 on my list. He came in at 35 officially. That's not bad. That's better than Troy Zann's placement, which I'm sure he took note of. But, oh, Lex, it looks like you just have the mute thing going. Oh, it says your mic isn't connected.
There we go.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Lex, let's hear it again.
Oh, technology. I just assumed that you guys would like auto unmute me when I came on because I was just sitting backstage and watching my good brother Troy Zann get salty with y'all.
He got salty with Corey. We're
gonna need to hear your take after that.
Oh my God! Well, I'm so happy to see you guys. It's during this whole shelter-in-place pandemic, it's so wonderful to see friendly faces. And Phil, Alexa, Adam, I miss y'all. Stacia, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And I want to thank you guys for actually putting me in the top 100 list. I'm just happy to be there. I'm happy to be here.
What did you think of the placement coming in at 35? Feel about right? Feel about a little high?
No, I don't think it was too high. I thought it was fair. I mean, honestly, I would have been happy with just about anything. You know, I played Survivor for myself, not for public affirmation, not to make these lists. For me, it was the experience. I wanted to have the experience, and it wasn't in order to boost my own fame. The fame was part of it. Was part of the thing after the experience that was kind of difficult for me to reconcile and get used to. But again, like I said, it's always nice. It's always nice to hear, even if you don't expect it, that your game and what you brought to the franchise resonated with people, especially people of you guys' caliber, because you guys are all this stuff better than we do, and the fact that you would actually include me in the list and put me in what I felt was a pretty respectable spot. I just have to say thank you. That was it warmed my heart.
Well, that's awesome. I was happy to be able to put you. I was happy you came in as high as you did. I thought people would forget that Survivor Africa existed now that it's however many years ago. So I thought that people would have just forgotten it altogether.
No, it's funny because ever since, especially since this whole shelter-in-place pandemic happened, people are binge watching, the older seasons. They've become available now easily for most anyone, and it's really been interesting because all of a sudden my social medias are all starting to take off again in terms of getting all sorts of messages from people, and a lot of young people that. Honestly, they were either not alive when Survivor Africa aired, or they were too young to care, and they're all watching the old seasons, and so they're hitting me up, and a lot of them are saying, "Oh my God, I didn't realize." And it's funny, even some young people that I work with, who didn't even know that I had ever been on Survivor, they show up on on a video conference meeting for work, and they're like, "Oh my God, I just spent this weekend binge watching Africa, and who's there but Lex?" Who I've been working with for 5 years.
Are they liking you? Are they liking your season?
They're loving it. Yeah, they're loving it. And I think part of it is people that have been watching only maybe since New School, kind of maybe season 20 and on. I think for them it's really refreshing to see some of the older seasons because they were so radically different. It's almost like it's brand new for them, the same way that maybe some of the new twists are brand new for the people like us who've been watching forever.
Yeah, absolutely. I got my old school Survivor sweatshirt on right here because I ranked you guys really, really high. I mean, I know Kathy Vavrick-O'Brien, I put her at 46. I had you at 40, so I was very heavily looking at the
wow, so somebody else, it wasn't you that boosted me to 35.
No, somebody else really loved you.
Oh, well, I love it. All right.
I had you pretty high up. We had poor Corey just got roasted by Troyzan, but we'll have to see. We'll have to send him a text and ask him where he had you.
Oh, that is just funny. God bless Troyzan. He's got passion to spare for all of us.
He really, you know what? I don't think we could have asked for a better person to come in at number 100, because like if it would have been 99, it wouldn't have had the same effect. But it's the fact that like, dude, you were about to get cut. You were about to be out of this thing. So that's what makes it fantastic.
God, that has to sting a tiny bit.
A little bit.
Lex, if you could give us a real quick top 5, who would you say?
Oh boy, that's so hard. I mean, I guess I know that you guys had all the different criteria, but I'd have to say, Sandra, 2-time winner. You just can't deny that. It's it seems like an impossible thing to have happen. I'd put her in there because as you know, our strategy. Everybody who was not a winner on All Stars, we all agreed 100% that winners go first. It's just if you can get rid of them, you get rid of them, because it's shame on you if you let them make it to final tribal. Who else would I put in there? I mean, I'd have to say, you can't deny Tony as far as the new school goes. I mean, Tony is he to me represents all of the stuff that's really fun and beautiful and Survivor about the new school. So Tony's got to be in there. I'd put, some of them would be emotional votes. I think Courtney is absolutely incredibly entertaining. And I love her whole story arc, how she didn't even want to go out and do it. And yet she did it, and she did it with just such wild style. And her, her confessionals are just undeniably delicious, always have been. Who else? God, there's just so many. You'd have to put at least a couple people from the first couple seasons. You have some
good personalities with those 3.
Yeah, I mean, I hesitate to even go further. There's just so many people, and I know that when Adam asked me, who would be number 1, I said I think that's just an absolutely impossible question to answer. I would have hated to be the one to, in your shoes to make that decision, because I just think that there have been hundreds of survivors that all bring something completely unique and different. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for all of them, then the tapestry would only be 10% done. The top 100 are only really responsible. How many of us have there been? Like 500 or something like that?
Almost 600.
600. So the top 100, I don't think that they could, that any of us in the top 100 could claim to have really fully woven that tapestry without the other 500 people that have done it as well. Mm-hmm. We're only part of the story. Everybody, I think, brought something really special and unique, from the first boots all the way to the people that won, and Sandra, who won twice. Mm-hmm. And Tony, who won twice.
Yeah. I love
Hey,
it.
Lex, we have a fan question for you that someone wanted to ask. This is from Max. He wants to know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, from your 2 seasons on Survivor, which challenge do you remember the most? Whether because you won it or because it was difficult. When I say challenge, team, immunity, whichever one, what comes to your head first?
I have to say I don't have nearly the vivid recollection of the All-Star challenges. For me, the Africa challenges are the ones that still, I sometimes even dream about them. And ironically, I was having Survivor dreams last night, which is weird. It doesn't happen all the time, but I think that the challenges in Africa, there were so many that were so epic. I mean, the scale of those challenges, some of them were so epic. I'll never forget the very first one, which just about destroyed all of us physically, where we had those enormous several 100-pound carts that we dragged through like the thorniest, most inhospitable terrain you can imagine in like 120-degree heat. Absolutely brutal. It just destroyed us. Those giant rolling boulders that we had to push down that hill, racing against another team. These things were literally like 9-foot-tall spherical cheese graters that were knobby, and they were literally these things were so heavy they were made of steel cages. And so once you got them going, you couldn't slow them down. And we didn't realize that until we tried with our shoulders. And it was like having a giant box grater just grating your skin off. So that one was certainly, pretty epic. I mean, we I think maybe the only season, maybe there was one other, but I know that at the time we were the only season, and we were only season for a while that didn't have any family visit. We got the video taped recordings from our loved ones instead of the family visit. And that for me was a super special challenge because, you know, I missed my kids and my wife. It hurt. I missed them so much. And if you guys, you know, if you guys recall, I broke down like a little pussy. I mean, I cried and I bawled. I could not help myself. And I'm one of those people that I shout at the TV anytime I see somebody on Survivor crying. If in my mind, you only get to cry about one thing, and that's your family. But you don't cry about the game. That to me is like it's not allowed. You got to suck it up and be tough. And but that you know, as you guys recall, I fell apart. And those, you know, some of those challenges resulted in incredible rewards. You know, that family video challenge is how I got to take Big Tom on a trip of a lifetime to see the Great Migration, go on that hot air balloon ride. Arguably the most epic and best reward in 40 seasons of Survivor, in my opinion. So, yeah. But Max, great question, Max, and thank you for letting me walk down memory lane a little bit.
That is one of the great rewards of all time. And I like that you're talking about the tough challenges and everything, because our next guest, I don't think they had to do any tough challenges. So they were doing all the puzzles and stuff. So we're going to be getting to that one. But we just jumped up like crazy, Adam. We're at 1,200 viewers after being around like 300, 400 for the beginning here. So we're jumping up now as we start getting into the meat of our guests. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Lex, I wanted to thank you so much for being a part, for helping us raise money against the fight against ALS and helping us preview the finale episode for the top 100 survivors. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for including me in your list. Adam, Phil, Alexa, congratulations on your finale episode. I have to tell you, I thought it was incredibly entertaining, super clever idea. And to the 1,200 plus people out there, thank you guys so much for joining. Please donate if you can. This is a great, great cause. And Penner, my brother, I know you're going to be watching this, but please do send all of my love to your family, especially to Stacy. I love you. And all you guys, I love you. And everybody out there watching, I love you as well. Thank you guys for including me.
Thanks
so
much.
Talk to you soon, Lex.
All right. Bye.
All right. Yes, we're going good. Almost about 1,300 viewers so far. So Lex brought in the masses. So thank you, Lex.
Thank you, Lex. And I think also somebody might have tweeted out the link that they were about to come on. I think that might have been what just happened here.
Absolutely. We have one of the more popular players in the last couple years for sure about to come on. Before I bring Wendell into the studio, I just wanted to remind everyone that the final episode for the top 100 greatest survivors is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. You can watch it live. And during this kickoff show, please consider donating to the fight against ALS. There's a link at the very top of the description. All you have to do is click on it, put how much you want to donate. It takes 20 seconds to donate. If you leave a donation for $100 or more, you can ask a question to the person on the screen. Up next is Wendell. He was the winner of Survivor Ghost Island. You saw him just this last spring on Survivor Winners at War. Wendell, thank you so much for joining. How's it going?
What's up, guys? It's good to be here.
Wendell, did you tweet out the link?
I actually didn't, Phil, but I did hear you talking trash on me like 30 seconds ago, so I cannot wait to see you in person, man. I can't. One day.
Phil, we have a guest coming on. You going to talk about him like that in front of his face?
I saw him down there. I was excited. Wendell, I got to say, though, you came in at 27 on the official list. I put you at 19. So even though, you know, it's the whole hate we have for each other, but iron sharpens iron or something. And I got you at number 19.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I did see your list. So thank you very much, Phil, for that. But for the amount, can we use profanity? Because I heard Lex drop a word that previously.
We got a P-bomb, so you can say what you want to say.
Yeah, so Phil, stop talking shit on your boy, man, because I'm gonna be your person. I'm gonna put the pause on you, my guy.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, man. It'll just be good to be able to see you in person, Wendell. Honestly, you could beat me up. As long as I can see you in person, it'll just be nice. That means we've made great strides where we can be in person, which will be great. So
let's hope for the best.
Let's hope for the best. Exactly.
What's up, Alexa? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Wendell. I'm happy you're here. I have nothing bad to say about you.
Thank you. Always been a supporter. I love you very much for that.
How have you been, Wendell? How you doing?
I've been pretty good. I cut short my my little niece and nephew's 4th birthday party to run home so I can be on this because I know how important this is. But I was just at a party celebrating with them. But I'm here for you guys now.
That's amazing. Wow. This is what I mean. Like when I talk trash to you, like you always end up just like saying something so nice and kind. I'm just like, now I just look like the bad guy again. Like I'm just the bad guy. That's awesome. But yeah, man, it's been great. I like the shirt. I like the is that a hand drawn shirt? Is that what we're looking at here? Is that
you know what? A Survivor fan sent me this shirt. It's cat.
Wow.
And yeah, I get some things from fans. I get a lot of fan art, and this was one of those things. This is the first time I wore it. I just thought that today would be a good day to rock it. So
yeah,
good day to whip it out.
Yeah. It is opening. It is the opening Sunday of the NFL. Are you an Eagles guy? I forget because I'm a Lions guy, so I can't talk trash on this. But I forget if you're an Eagles fan.
I'm a supporter of all Philly sports, but I haven't watched football in a while.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well. So, what do you think about the list? How'd you feel about it? Were you surprised when you came in? Happy about it?
I was pretty happy.
It's not bad.
I'm fine with being in the top 30. I'm fine with being on a list of the top 100. Actually, I know there've been tremendous players to play. I know that my performance on Winners at War wasn't as great as it could have been, but you know, I played the first game pretty strong, and so to be top 30, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that first game, I think it helped, and I think also the second game. I think the people voting, and I know that 3 of them are right here, but I think we could see the fact that it was heavily edited. It's a show.
Yeah. There was some edit stuff going on there, but you know, I can't live my life complaining about my edit. I just know, and fortunately, I've seen people going to bat for me. During the season, I got a lot of hate, but then afterwards, a lot of people understand that it is an edited TV show where they need to show drama and whatnot. So I'm not gonna bash Survivor. I love Survivor. I love the game. So it is what it is.
I know, Alex, I'm kind of stealing your question here, but who would you put up at the top? Who are your top 5? Who are you expecting to see on this top 10 list?
So my top 5, I wasn't even thinking of my top 5 until you guys asked Lex. So I jotted 5 down quickly, and so number 1 I have Tony, number 2 I have Sandra, number 3 I have Parv, and I don't know. Her and I weren't the best of friends on Winners at War. And then number 4, I actually have Sarah Lacina, because as a product of the new school and seeing her game, she's a strong Survivor player, man. Like she's a great Survivor player. And then I have obviously my Survivor idol Jeremy at number 5. So that's my top 5 right there.
That's a great top 5.
Yeah. Thank you.
Would you have had yourself at 6 just outside of that? Out of curiosity?
Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, like,
yeah.
I just figured I can't vote for myself, but I probably would have been within the top maybe 2 to 3, I'd say.
And you got to put Tony and Sandra at 1 and 2, but then the next logical choice is yourself.
I don't see why not, right?
Obviously.
I mean, if I'm not top 2, I mean.
Yeah.
And you got to play with everyone in that group you just mentioned too, so that makes it even more genuine.
Yeah, so out of that crew, I got to play with them all, and Sarah Lacina just stands out to me. Because a lot of people walked into Winners at War thinking with a lot of preconceived notions about Sarah Lacina, and I know people told me a lot of things about her, saying that for Game Changer, she made people really feel super close to them, and then things that happened shortly after the game made them understand, man, she was just playing them. And then coming into Winners at War, I wanted to keep that in mind and kind of keep her at a distance, but within reach. So we allied with one another and stuff. But then just watching how she played people. And it seemed like she was playing the game very hard, but she also got very far in the game. So, I mean, and she was aligned with Tony, who should have been one of the biggest threats out there the whole time. And for them to make it so far together, it's a testament to, I think, how she is as a game player. Also to their bond and to her having eyes and ears in a lot of places. So much respect to Sarah Lucina.
Well, she's coming up in the top 10, I think, right? I think
Yeah,
she did make it. So the top 10, I think all 5 of the people you said are in the top 10. So
okay,
so you could have made a list.
True. Full disclosure, though, I wasn't really checking for the list too much. I've been running around a lot and doing a lot of things. I know that's no excuse, but I haven't really been keeping up to date with the list. So I didn't know. Obviously, Tony and Sandra, you have to put them in the list. They're the only 2-time winners, but I didn't know who was outside of the top 10 to even know who was inside the top 10. I wasn't in your top 10, but you know.
I think I might have put you the highest, though, Wendell. I'm just saying.
I appreciate you, Phil.
Wendell, if you don't mind, we got a nice donation from Deb Loftus. If you wouldn't mind just giving Deb a quick shout out.
What's up, Deb? How's it going? Thank you very much for your donation. You're wonderful. Much love to you from your boy Wendell. Thank you. Big thanks.
Thanks, Deb. Thanks for donating.
So, yeah. Wendell, is if you could say the % chance that you would return to play the game, if I could ask you today, what would you say is the % chance?
It's probably pretty low.
Okay.
Gotta be honest.
It's probably pretty low. Yeah. It depends on what else might be out there for me, but it's probably pretty low.
Absolutely. Well, just know if you did return, you'd have a nice big fan base that'll be rooting you on, and I would be one of those.
Thank you, Adam. You're a solid dude. I just I was. This is me being really real, and I know that this is a happy place, and we need to be putting smiles on people's faces. But I love Survivor so much, and Ghost Island was so great for me. And with your first season going out there, a lot of people everyone's wide-eyed, and I had Dom, and we were just running the island, and then Sebastian was always making us laugh, and Jonathan would say crazy things, and it was just this great, amazing experience. And for it to be so soon to Winners at War, and for me to come back thinking, man, I love everybody Survivor related from the top to the bottom. I love all the fans. I love Probst, and I love everybody. For me to go out and try to bring the same energy to Winners at War, and even off the island, after I got voted out and everything, I was so content and I was so happy. And then for me to see how things played out, I was just like, man, I love y'all. And I felt like crucified out there.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't given back to you.
What's that?
The love wasn't given back to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, my thing is, there are people out there, and I don't want to go over with my time, but there are people out there that actually treat the crew not so nice. And that the cameramen and the segment producers and stuff, and they're treating these people in charge of telling our stories bad. And my thing was, man, they're out here excuse my voice cracked somehow. They're out there busting their behinds and working just as hard as we are to survive. And so at the very least, let's give them our utmost respect, and let's be friendly to them. And then for my portrayal to be that way, it really just hurt me. It hurt your boy. And so it made me understand that the edit is outside of my control. No matter how I treat anybody, that's outside of my control. Whereas there might be other shows or other opportunities where their goal is to portray you in a positive light. So I think I shine a bright light, and as much as I think I'm putting goodness out there, in a competition show, they can show you any type of way. Whereas there are other shows that might just say, you know what, we want you to go out here and look good, and that's what we're gonna do. So that's all I'm saying about that. I love everything about Survivor, but it would take a lot. Maybe I just need some time off, because you see some of the greats, like Tyson comes back every few years, and does his thing and makes everybody laugh. So maybe I just need a little break.
I mean, it's twice in 2 years, and you know, it's quick back to back, and you go from very different games, and yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, and I do think, you know, you could look back in 6-7 years and be like, I got to do this again, and it would be a completely different experience than what you're having right now.
That's the thing. Like, I can, yeah, maybe I was very saturated with the Survivor life, because after winning, but I'm the type of person, like, I'm unencumbered. I don't have any ties. I'm just a single guy. So I'm the type of person that wants to do everything. And so after winning, I went everywhere. I did every appearance and everything. And I was traveling a lot. And I was just like, I want to give back as much as I can to the fandom community. And now I'm not as excited to even do that anymore. Maybe I just need a little break. And then I'll come back or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I still love the community, but you know.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, Wendell, I wanted to just say, you know, thanks so much for joining. We really appreciate you taking the time out, helping us raise awareness for ALS, and previewing the final episode for the Top 100 Greatest Survivors. Wanted to remind you and everyone else, the Philadelphia Flyers haven't won the Cup since 1975.
It's not fair. It's not fair, man.
Wow.
Drop the bomb like that.
I'm a Flyers fan. That's not okay. That's not okay.
On that note,
thanks, Adam.
Thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it, and you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks so much, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and donate because this is an amazing cause, and yeah, thank you guys so much for putting all the time in on this.
Love you, Wendell.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon, Wendell.
Bye, Wendell. All right, thanks so much, guys. We're almost up to 1,500 viewers. We have $637 in donations. I just wanted to say, for the rest of the night, or at least for now, instead of $100 to ask a survivor anything, as long as you guys donate $50, 50, you can ask whoever's on the screen at the time any question you want. Whenever you go to donate, there's a field where you can leave a question, leave your name if all you want is a shout out. Again, all the money is going to ALS, the fight against ALS. The link to donate is at the very top of the description. We are not even halfway done with this kickoff show. We're basically a third of the way done. So we have some great people coming up, and we have a very special person coming up next. It's not a survivor, but it is a survivor YouTuber, probably the most well-known, my personal favorite survivor YouTuber. He makes great survivor videos, about a video a week. Everyone say hi to Billy, also known as Peridiam. Peridiam, how's it going?
Hey, Adam. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear.
It's perfect.
Awesome. Thank you. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me. I'm doing well. This is a first for me. I usually don't go live. I'm usually offline. So, damn, I'm happy to be here.
It's really weird to put a face to everything now. It's like we're talking to you. You're not telling me a story about a player. You're actually talking to me right now. It's pretty cool.
I can say, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peridiam, and we are live on Russell Hantz's Top 100 finale. Thank you for having me.
Love it. That was perfect. I've really enjoyed what you've been doing throughout this like the actual show, the actual list that's been coming out. I've really thought that your talks about some of the old school players have been really great, considering like I know how much you love the game and love the old school. I've really enjoyed those, like when you get your one person for each episode. I thought they've been awesome.
Yeah. One thing I was really happy with Winners at War was they did dig deep and bring in players from way back in Survivor history that, like, I was disappointed that Danny didn't go far, but just flabbergasted to see her come back at all. And it kind of gave me like a nice excuse to freshen up on my memory of the old seasons, and then also bring it to like modern day for a lot of new super fans, or a lot of new fans in general. Just from what I've seen on YouTube, it feels like a lot of fans are newer, and so they don't have as much of an understanding of the really old seasons, or like the game that was being played back then, and how it like paves the way for today. But it's honestly, it can translate just as well. I was hoping, honestly, I was really looking forward to some of the old school players doing better. They didn't, unfortunately, on Winners at War. But yeah, it was fun to put together like the road to victory for all 40 winners. I really enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was awesome. Yeah, and I've really like I enjoy it too because like we're kind of like the older people now. We have to explain why what Ethan was doing in Africa was so important because it was different, and like why Vesepia and Danny, like it was different games. And I always find it interesting, like when you get somebody who knows the game as well as you do and really puts that into perspective. I think it opens eyes so there's more than just idols and you know, even back then immunity challenges meant so much more than they do nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, you get like Ethan was trying to throw a challenge in the pre-merge of Africa, and like nobody thinks about that, but that was a very different concept back then. And like the moral ramification of throwing a challenge when you're fighting for $1 million, but like Ethan was doing that, and that's a part of his story of winning the game that you don't really think too much about with him. But that's like really that's a smart thing that I tip my hat to, give him credit for. Or Tina Wesson is like a hidden tour de force that you wouldn't really know the first time you watch Australia. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Who would you put in your top 5 survivors?
Are we talking greatest or like gameplay or just characters or just overall?
It sounds like greatest would encompass everything else you just said, so I'll say that.
Yeah, you know, I thought you guys might ask this, and I was quickly doing what Wendell was saying. I was jotting down names, being like, who would I put down? Because if it comes to gameplay, that's a different question than like talking about character moments or like legacy. Or maybe you combine all of them. I'm pretty much feel like I have to say Tony is number 1. I think he is number 1 to beat 19 other winners. Pretty much what's him at the top. I would probably just say Tony, Sandra, Kim, Rob, and then the 5th spot. This was tough, and I was leaning towards Parvati, but I might have said Sarah or Sari. So that would be at least in my top 5. Rounding it out, maybe Jeremy. You could put Russell up there. Yeah. I don't know.
I like it. That's a good list.
Yeah.
And so what is it that like when you're going with like Russell, Sari, Jeremy, like when you get down to that 5th spot, I know because you're such a big fan of the old school, you kind of just listed off a bunch of new school players. What or not even new school, but a lot of people who are still very popular in the new school. Were you looking at it more like that than necessarily like just one game, how they did?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of old school players that I would love to bring up, and I don't 100% know. Like, a part of it is, it was talked about earlier, I think Troyzen or somebody was saying, like, coming back again and again gives me a better understanding of how the player is going to play on repeated tries. So when I see Rob come back and he dominates 2 times, possibly 3 times, that shows me like, all right, he's sort of an all-in player that I feel comfortable putting in the top 5 for all the other players. I would love to put somebody like Danny up in the top 10 or close to it. I think she played a very underrated game. I think Tina is also a potential top 10 player as far as gameplay goes, but you wouldn't think like that should be somebody in consideration when she got eliminated first in All-Stars and kind of got voted out in Blood versus Water. New school, possibly recency bias because it's fresher in my mind. Seeing a lot of these winners come back and do well, like I feel comfortable putting Kim up there. You know, Rob is a little bit more questionable with his outing in Winners at War, but I mean, the game was a little bit simpler, a little bit less refined back in the older days. So I feel like if this season's kept going for another 40 seasons, I feel like winners like Tony would hold up better 40 seasons now. I don't know. Quick thoughts. I really haven't thought too hard about this, so this isn't like something that I put into a video or anything like that.
Good, quick thoughts though. Those are good.
Yeah.
Now you can make the video and contradict all of it.
So, Peridiam, before we let you go, because we got a few people about to join, I wanted to ask. I know you obviously have your own channel. Is there anything coming up? Anything you're working on? You'd like to tell us about?
So the next video is actually, I feel bad saying this because we're Survivor stream and I'm talking about Big Brother all the time right now. I don't know if you guys watch Big Brother at all. I don't feel like most of the Survivor audience cares so much for it, but I'm all about Big Brother. I've been staying up until like 3 in the morning every night. It's really bad watching the live feeds. I'm covering Big Brother right now. I'm incorporating fan opinions in my next video, which I've never done before. So it's all decided by the fans. And if it goes well, it might be something I'll translate to the Survivor audience, the Survivor fans for 41. Also, the one big thing that I'm waiting to do, and I decided to wait until today, was I'm going to eventually go live on Twitch and just have a Twitch stream going up a couple times a week, probably every Friday, Saturday. And just want to throw that out there. It's coming soon. So. Yeah, and also I want to quickly say that I love what this is all about. Seeing Penner, seeing all these people come together has been amazing. I've been glued. I've been watching and helping contribute. Thank you guys for letting me narrate a few entries here and there every week. I wanted to just tell the fans to please donate to this cause. It's for a good cause, and I am currently hitting my phone button right now to donate it myself, just to put my money where my mouth is. And I wanted to quickly ask you guys, because I donated, and I wanted to ask each of you, what is your #1 favorite season of Survivor, if you could just pick one season overall? And maybe you've already said that before, but I'm not sure what they are.
Mine would be Philippines. I think it has the perfect combination of a cluster of different types of personalities and a lot of really fun gameplay, and it's encapsulated by Denise's crazy story of going to every single tribal council.
I love Philippines. Yeah, top 10.
I always say China. Easy.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Tocantins. That's my pick.
Okay. Stacia, what do we do?
I honestly, I really loved this last season of Winners at War. I thought it was incredible. That's also the most recent in my head too, but right now I would stick with that.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
Peridiam,
guys.
thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining. It was cool to put a face to the voice. We look forward to the future of your channel, more great videos to come, I'm sure. And yeah, thanks so much for helping us raise awareness money and reviewing the top 10.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And in the future, by the way, we should consider collaborating more often with you guys, Phil and Alexa and Adam. If you ever want to do anything, you guys are more than welcome to. I'm becoming more open as a person and less hidden behind the visual of the episode. So, but thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. You have a good day.
Peridiam.
See ya.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We're still around the 1,500 viewer mark, so thanks so much for the donations, the views. We're raising money for the Fight Against ALS. We are also previewing the Top 100 Greatest Survivors finale. We've been teasing over the last hour or two that we have a surprise guest that wasn't in the poster. He is here right now. He was number 37 on our Top 100 Survivors. He is a winner of Survivor Season 30, Worlds Apart, Mike Calloway. Thanks so much for joining, Mike. How's it going?
What's happening, y'all?
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, no worries. Anything for my dude Penner, man. Penner's always had a very special place in my heart and also in Meg's heart as well. When I first started, well, not when I first started, whenever Meg moved to Los Angeles from New York, I would go out and visit all the time, and of course, like, try to hit up Jonathan as many times as I could to, garnish some knowledge from, who I think is one of the great players of the game, or mentor as well. So anything for those guys. So thank you guys for having me out today. I appreciate it.
Mike, it's great to meet you, man. I'm excited to talk to you. You were one of the big misses. I feel like a lot of people were disappointed you weren't on Winners at War. I feel like a lot of people were bummed about that from the newer seasons, and it's great. It's great to see you and talk to you, and I'm happy that the people who made the list, which I was one of them, didn't forget about you and still had you come in the top 37, which I think is pretty great. So
hey, you know what, man? Even to be on a list is great these days. I'm getting. I'm engaged now, doing a completely new career, doing commercial real estate here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, in the middle, of a pandemic. So, just to be on anybody's list is a great honor.
It's exciting, though. A lot of big changes, a lot of good stuff coming up, it sounds like.
Oh, my gosh. We're so fired up. Like, every time we turn around, something new's popping off. We're figuring out caterers and, and this, I've never been married before, so neither is Meg. So, it's like it's exciting. I don't know. Like, maybe I shouldn't be this excited, but I'm really excited about it all.
I'd say that's a good sign. I'd say being excited is a good sign. I'd say if you were like nervous and bummed about this, that wouldn't be as good of a sign. So that's
we've been together almost 5 years now. So it's like, man, they better come on. But how are you guys? Okay, so I've never met really any of you guys. Catch me up real fast on who everyone is, please.
Alexa, you want me to do it? All right. So
you take it away.
Alexa and I are Survivor specialists. We do a podcast, a YouTube channel. We're just fans who I started doing it like 5 years ago. Alexa jumped in maybe a year and a half after that. and we've just been cruising. Your season was actually the first season I ever did the podcast for. And we were doing a fantasy game, and this is a fun one for you. We're doing a fantasy game where it was me and my partner at the time, and then we had a third tribe, and that was the Ghost Tribe. And we were saying, all right, I'll take 6, you take 6, and then we put 6 people on the Ghost Tribe. And we were both so dumb that you were actually the 12th pick that we had, and you almost ended up on our Ghost Tribe instead of being on one of our teams. So that just tells you how special we are at picking actual winners of Survivor stuff. You know, we almost let you slip right through our fingers when there wasn't even competition on the other side.
I'm pretty sure I only picked one winner of Survivor in my whole career. And
was it yourself?
Yeah, it was me. So like, I'm definitely winning this season for sure. Yeah, I mean, funny story about that though, really and truly, and I tell this a lot whenever I'm speaking or you know, just trying to motivate people. I got all my information whenever I was going through the casting process, and like everything that I sent back to them, I wrote winner on. And like whenever I sent my wardrobe in, you know, like I wrote winner on the big box that I, you know, sent in, and then in the little tents that we had to stay in the 7 days before or 6 days before we started playing, I wrote, you know, 121 winner, you know, on my tent, you know, and then just like I just like knew, not as well as you can know, but like, you know, it was just like some sort of destiny that not only I created for myself, but I feel like, you know, the Lord helped me out to win. And I mean, it was just such a crazy, fun, unique experience. I've been telling people for 10 years previous to this, like, I'm going on that show and I'm going to win it, you know, and it's just like, how does that happen to somebody? I don't know. It happened to me. It's still a surreal experience for me.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people, I mean, a lot of the survivors we've talked to over the time, they always say, like, they just thought about it. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. It was going, and then it happened. Like, Adam Klein's a great example of exactly what you just said, where it was like, I knew I was going to win that game. And I don't know, did you drive production crazy by writing winner on everything so that they couldn't, like, reuse a single thing, or were they okay with that?
I don't know. I think when we came back and the show aired, then a lot of them came out and they were like, oh my gosh, we thought you were crazy. But, you know, like now that, you know, it's public and you won and everything, they would talk to me a little bit more than they would, you know, before it all went, before it all aired and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the majority of people that go on Survivor, I think, have a very eccentric personality type. So I'm sure we drive them all crazy, you know, and I would be the king of driving people crazy. I know I'm annoying. Just ask Meg.
I'm just excited for someone a couple seasons from now. They're like, in my tent, someone wrote winner all over it, and I don't really know who did that.
Oh, that would
have been you.
That would be awesome. Yeah, no, I love. Sorry, no one else introduced themselves. Stacia.
Hi, I'm Stacia. I don't have like a podcast or YouTube or anything. I'm just here to help keep track of donations.
Yes, thank you for doing that. That's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Hey, no worries, no worries. And I know my guy over here. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely.
Before we get you out of here, who would you put as your top 5?
Top 5. Well, I mean, obviously you got to go with Tony, 2-time winner. You got to go with Sandra. She's a 2-time winner. I think Suri is a very easily goes in the top 5. Rounding that out. I think to be in the top 5, you have to, there's a lot of qualifications that go into that. And I think you have to have dominated your season. I think you have to, had a worthy cast around you to dominate, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Not just a softball pitch. I think we've seen in a couple seasons of Survivor, but I don't know. Top 5 is a tough road to negotiate, but I don't know. I think I could give you a top 3.
That's what it sounds like.
That works.
It sounds like we got 3.
Yeah.
I do think Russell is a very underappreciated player. As far, you know, I don't think Russell could ever win the game of Survivor. I don't think that's a mystery that I've ever said that, but I think that he's his gameplay, though, pushing pedal to the metal and making people make decisions on the spot, right there. I think that was in a time of Survivor that needed to be revitalized. I think he gave a breath of fresh air back to the show. But maybe he's the top 5. I don't know. There's a lot of really, really, really good players, for a lot of different reasons.
You could throw yourself in if you want to just round it out.
No,
you did win.
I'm definitely not a top 5 player. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you so much for joining and helping us previewing our final episode and helping us raise some money and awareness against the fight against ALS. We appreciate you coming on.
ALS sucks, and shout out to Penner and Stacy. Love you guys. Keep fighting the fight. Hey, and thank you guys for everything you're doing. And realistically, hope I get to meet each and every one of you in person at some point.
It was great meeting you, Mike.
Great meeting you, Mike. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Mike Holloway, number 37, our second winner. We have more winners to come, but including one right now. I've lost my – okay, now I'm back on StreamYard. We have more winners to come, including one right now, but not just a winner. We have a reunion that we want to present to you guys of Season 39, Island of the Idols. We have Noura. We have DK Chillin'. And, of course, we have the winner of Season 39, Tommy Sheehan. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, guys?
I can't believe, Tommy, nobody has said you yet for the top 5. What the heck is going on here?
I mean, I think I'm the clear greatest of all time. They just leave me off because it's just so obvious, right?
I know. I'm saying, man. I mean, you beat 2 of the best to ever play, Noura and Dean, sitting right here. I'm not pandering.
Best final 3 of all time, right here.
This is cool. I'm glad to have all of you on here. All 3 of you were fun after On to the Idols. It was fun to have you all on the podcast and everything. And now it's great to see you all. Noura, I'm glad Green Dream took off. It looks like it took off at least. It's right there, right behind you.
You know what I learned from this experience? You have to promote yourself. You really have to be good at that.
And there it is. It's good. I mean, it's right there. And then Dean, it looks like you're having like the time of your life. You're outside. It looks beautiful.
I'm at a cocktail bar on the Upper West Side, enjoying my day. I'm doing my thing.
Love that.
I'm in the Upper East. I'll come swing by.
There you go.
So how's everybody doing on opening NFL Sunday? How's everybody doing?
I mean, my Jets completely stunk today. So, I mean, it's great to have football the fall, have some beers, watch the game. But my Jets, man, they are looking terrible. Terrible.
Sounds about right, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a Lions fan. They were winning 23-6 in the fourth quarter.
There you go.
They lost.
Yeah.
But Noura, what are you up to other than Green Dream? What's going on?
First of all, I have to say, because we were on waiting to get on, I didn't know what Peridiam looked like. Were you guys like, oh, that's what you look like?
I think it's a new
not
thing.
just a voice.
I think he just started showing his face recently.
That was cool.
Yeah.
What am I up to? I mean, honestly, I'm just happy we're out of this. I feel like I'm starting to see people out and having fun, and we're not just all secluded. I'm a very social person, so I must say I'm just happy that people are getting out and we can all reconnect again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Dean, I know you're at the cocktail bar. Is there anything else you want to add to how you're doing other than just like chilling?
I'm chilling, but I'm not chilling like TS chilling.
TS chilling over there. What's that?
I saw stuff. He can't even fit those muscles in a t-shirt, that guy. But Dean was doing okay. What do you got, Tommy? I said, Dean, you were putting me through workouts this summer, so there we go. No, I'm good. I've spent a lot of time on the Jersey Shore. In fact, with some Survivor folks, Tommy being one of them, he made the trip down from Long Island to the right shore. I saw the love of my life, Chelsea Walker. So I've been seeing people after, of course, getting tested and socially distanced, but it's been fun. And I think, like Noura, I'm loving the outdoor, like New York City vibes. of outdoor dining and that world. So I've been good. Thank you for asking, Phil.
You're welcome. You're
Really
welcome.
glad that you and Chelsea are still happy together.
My question, I got to ask this, and I don't want to ask Tommy because I already know he texted me crying. I could hear the tears. How do you guys feel about Tommy coming in at number 74 on the top 100? This is for Noura and Dean.
I thought it was 89 because I was like trying to take a peek at this list. I that's what I saw on Reddit or something.
I'm very salty. I'm very salty about that. I mean, he's the best, one of the best top 5 guys in my book. I mean, he beat me. So that
this romance is real right here. Okay,
clearly.
I don't want to take anything away from the rankings at all, but there is a part of me that says that the 38 winners of all time, like they should be top 38, and then everyone else should be after. That's a hot take of mine, but Tommy.
That take frustrates me big time.
Honestly, I think the fans didn't get to know Tommy. I'll say that. Like from our season, there was so much that happened, as we all know, that I don't think people got to know Tom and Dean. I mean, we got to see, like, everyone's like, oh yeah, Dean hit it hard fourth quarter, but like same thing. Like people didn't really get to see the personality. I think the difference is everyone got to see my personality in all the levels, and these guys, you didn't really get to know them. And I think, you know, Tommy's personality explains why he won, and it was a clear, you know, win. And Dean will own that. You know, he knows if he had kind of like connected more with people that, hey, it would have been a lot closer. So I think the bottom line is the world doesn't know their personalities and their personality. And I feel like I'm still getting to know Dean. I said that in Final Tribal Council. I go, I still don't know who this guy is. You know, he's got a lot of layers, and there's some people like me that just like open up too quick, and that's a lot for people. And then there are people like Dean that are on the other end. You know, it takes time and the right circumstances for them to open up more. So I think Tommy, if people got to know Tommy better, they would understand that his social game was so strong that he was protected the whole way to the end. He didn't have to do well physically. He didn't need idols, all of that. So I think that's what you don't know about Tommy.
Well, Tommy,
yep.
I'll leave you for last. How did you feel about being ranked 74th?
You know what? To be honest, I was so into like the Reddit and everything when I was on it that I really, to be honest, I feel bad. Like I haven't really looked at the list. I was just joking with you, Phil. So I don't know. I probably have a way different top 5 than most of survivors that, you know, I try to emulate and everything like that. But hey, a list is all biased, and just happy to be on the list, I guess.
Just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here.
So what? Wait. So I completely lost my train of thought. We were talking about the list, and then I completely lost it. Alexa. Oh wait, who was your top 5? That's what it was. You said you'd have a different top 5. Who you got?
I mean, Tony's the best player of all time. I think that's clear. And then you have to throw Sandra up there. But then my next 3 would have to be Todd, Earl, and let's go, and Kim. That would be a good top 5 right there. I think
like
Todd,
that.
I think Todd can be the best player of all time, and I think he is someone that I watched over and over and tried to emulate my game after. He's unbelievable, and Earl is just someone I wish was on Winners at War because I think he was phenomenal, you know, when he played and everything like that. And then of course Dean would have to be. Dean is actually top 5 also. So.
But not Noura. So you're going to put Dean in there, but you're going to leave Noura out.
No, Nora's already in a league of her own. You know what I mean? You don't have to say it.
I rank high on the personality list.
You win that.
You definitely win.
Thank you, guys.
Any who would be your top? Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was going to say, did everyone get a chance to say their top 5?
Noura and Dean have not.
Does Dean know 5 select players?
You got 3 right here.
Yes,
Dean.
I know. All right, my top 5. I got Tony, Sandra, Harvey, T.S. Chillin, and my beautiful girlfriend Michelle Fitzgerald. Best of all.
There we go.
He said the GF word. I love it.
Is she sitting right there?
She is.
Is that her hand, Michelle? Michelle.
Hey!
Michelle. Obviously in the top 5. That's a good call there.
She made me say that. She made me say that.
That's not true. Good
job. But it is true. Top 5 is true.
Oh, there's that New York ambulance.
There you go. I'll mute myself.
Noura, did you say
How
you
do you follow that? Come on. I don't have anyone to bring into this right now, okay? I'll tell you this. I don't know all the players like some other people would know. So I think for me, of the players that speak to me, I do love Tony, and I've always loved him because he has heart. And he's not afraid to do things his way. And he's had to learn how to kind of tone it back a little bit. And I think that's something that I need to work on. So he's one of my favorite players. I think, honestly, players like Dean that can keep their calm under pressure, that's also something that I really respect. So there are players like we discussed, like, God, I can't think of their names right now. So there are some players that, you know, they know how to just chill and it's like not be so reactive. And I think I'm a very reactive player. So there are a lot of people that I think that win the game, they have that ability. Like Kim, that's what it was. Kim has that ability to just poker face. So for me, it's going to be players that are well liked, but they know how to control themselves. The combination of those two take the game for me.
That's perfect.
You heard it here first. Well, Adam, we just lost Stacia. I guess. Are we?
We have more space. Our rectangles are bigger.
Right?
It's cleaner now.
It's nice seeing your faces. Like we miss. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like we watched you every week when we had and watching our season, and then also hearing the commentary about it was just like it gave us a full experience. So I miss seeing your faces and hearing you talk about all of us in such detail.
I miss being able to do it. I miss being able to nitpick other people that I don't know personally. I miss that.
Awesome. Well, very cool.
Right?
What'd you say?
You're ranking Disney movies now, right?
Now we're doing Disney, and you stole our idea for your own show. So, you know, whatever.
Actually, that was Dean, one of Michelle Fitzgerald's best friends, that asked me to do it with him. So I said, "Yeah, I'm in." So I'll blame it on Michelle. You can't.
So he stole our idea.
That works.
Well, I wanted to thank Tommy, Dean, Noura. I wanted to thank you guys so much for coming on, helping us raise money, helping us raise awareness against the fight against ALS, and to help us preview the final episode for the top 100 greatest survivors tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you haven't watched season 39, it's a great season. This is the final 3. Thanks so much for joining, guys.
Thanks for having us, guys. It was fun.
Thanks for everything.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Absolutely. So before moving on to our next guest, I just wanted to remind everyone that all you have to do is donate $50, and you can ask whoever is on the screen any question you want, or if you want a shout out, it can be anything Survivor related or not. We have a very special guest coming up next. He was on season 38, The Edge of Extinction. He also finished number 69 on our top 100 greatest survivors. He's a fan favorite. Please welcome Rick Devens. Rick, thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
What's up, man? Kevin from The Office's favorite number.
Rick, you got the best number on the list.
Bailed you guys out. The moment he popped up on the screen, it was obvious he was with Michelle. And none of you guys were going to bring that up.
I wasn't going to call him out.
The romance, Phil.
No, I didn't want to acknowledge it. I wanted to pretend it wasn't real. You know, if you pretend something's not real, it's not real. So I was like, I don't want to acknowledge it.
Over here.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Is that name taken?
yeah, by me.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Good to see everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It looks like you guys are raising some good money, which is awesome. Let's help out the pinners. And
we're almost to $1,000.
That's really great. That's awesome.
We've almost hit it. I think we're at 864 as of the last update. So if anybody's out there, we got to get to $1,000 before Russell gets on here. You know, I don't know why, but I'm going to arbitrarily say that we got to get there before Russell gets on here. So Rick can get a shave. That's what it is. I know that all of the money is going to ALS, but If we get to $1,000 before Russell gets on, Rick said he'll shave.
Yeah.
Is a quarantine beard? Like,
if we get to 1,000 before Russell gets on, and this will really get money rolling in, Phil will stop with the gambling tweets.
Oh
God, yes.
Those out of your timeline.
I'll write the check.
Yeah.
Dude, I told everybody to stop following me. I told everybody.
You're muted. It's all love.
Yeah, I told everybody, mute me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love it. What else you got for me?
How's it feel to be number 69, Rick?
It feels good. I'm top 70. I like that. Take that, Sheehan. 5 spots back. Win a challenge, bro. No, it's fun. It was. I think the most fun thing about it was talking about the other people, though. Talking about Underwood, talking about Wentworth, talking about Dave, the people I played with. I enjoyed talking with Adam about those guys.
Who would you put in your personal top 5?
Tony and Sandra, but I don't know who 4 and 5 would be. That's tough. So yeah, it would be, I guess, just me and then Tony probably because he won an all-star season, and then Sandra.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, since he beat her head-to-head, I'll put him above her.
So would you put Underwood in the top 5 then too? Because like you and Underwood have to be there, Tony and Sandra have to be there. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, Underwood, far less impressive game. Far less impressive game. I mean, he won like 1 challenge, and didn't find any idols. I don't know what that dude was doing out there. I guess if you count the fire making challenge, he won 2. And they were pretty important ones, you could argue.
Ones that might still haunt people, some would say.
It's possible. It's possible that could haunt somebody. I still get texts. It's funny because you see when the season's playing like around the world. So it's like 1 week I get like a bunch of messages from South Africa. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm heartbroken. I can't believe it." Then like a month later, it's like all these messages from Israel. They're like, "I just watched your finale. This is horrible." And I'm supposed to be comforting them.
Meanwhile, you're still recovering. Like, guys, come on.
Meanwhile, it's like, if not for Sia, I'd just be a shell of my former self.
So is it a quarantine? Did we get the answer? Is it a quarantine beard? What are we working with?
Regular beard.
I've never, I was in news for so long that I was never allowed to grow a beard until I went on Survivor, and then I went back to news, so I had to shave it again. So when I left my news job, I haven't shaved. I mean, I trimmed it up, but I haven't shaved since. I'm growing. My wife hates it, but
Excellent.
It's quarantine. Like I don't see anybody, so it's like the best opportunity ever.
Not even Becca. You're not even seeing her. Just like whatever.
Sounds like she hates it and doesn't want to see you.
Yeah. We just bought a new house so she could get away. Yeah.
That's a great plan, man. I like that. That's a good idea. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking about this list? What would you what are you feeling about this?
I haven't paid super close attention. I've seen that Phil, you're getting dragged for your list.
I thought I was muted.
Even watch Survivor.
Yeah, I thought I was muted. What's going on here?
No, you're not the one tweeting about how bad your list is. Other
people. Oh, got it. Other people have blocked me, so I can't see it.
Rick follows all the trolls.
Why do people hate Phil's list, Alexa?
I think because Sarah. Where did you put Sarah? 20?
I had Sarah at 30-something, and I put Boston Rob at 15.
Those are takes.
And people think she should be higher and he should be.
They think that they should both be higher. I guess
they should both be higher.
They should both be in the top 10, I guess. But I just didn't.
Me, Phil?
Do you really want to know or no?
Yeah.
91.
You think there are 9?
Hey guys.
What did you qualify for a good Survivor?
Pretty much just.
Sounds like 90 people before you, Rick.
Just being not Rick Devens, I guess. I don't know.
So Rick, we have a big donation from Cameron. Cameron wants to know who from not from Edge of Extinction, any other season, who's a survivor that you would love to come back and play alongside?
Oh man. That's tough. I got a lot of friends now that are in the Survivor universe. So it's like I'd like to obviously play with friends, although we've seen that doesn't always work out. But like in terms of people that I don't really know, but I was a huge fan of when I went on, Boston Rob was my #1 guy when I went on, and I've never interacted with him like at all, despite my efforts. And I love Cochran. I have interacted a little with Cochran, but I was a huge Cochran fan and feel like he'd be fun to play with. You know, he's like David's writing partner, right? Like he and I could be like David and I were, hopefully, maybe.
Well, Rick,
including me going further than him.
If CVS ever called you and they said, we need you to be like on the exile boat that Cochran was on, like, would you do that? I feel like you'd be pretty great at that.
If they called me and were like, we need you, one of our cafeteria folks went down, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I can feed people.
I would literally do anything to go hang out with those guys. I love production and the Ponderosa crew. Like, everyone involved with Survivor had such like a passion for what they do, and you can tell like they're this family because they're together all the time, that it really makes you come back to life and go like, man, I should be more passionate about what I'm doing. Like, this is they're a fun bunch to be around.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I'm still waiting. I mean,
good for you.
Once we can actually have a season, I mean, I'm still waiting for you to get that call, man. So you've already got the beard. You don't even need it. You're just gonna go out there.
Yeah, you'll go out with the beard.
Yeah.
If we're in the cold season again, like we were last time, it'll be really helpful. People don't realize how cold it gets at night, man. In that second season of shooting, the dry one. That's why all of us like caught on fire at one point. You're that close to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
But yeah,
well, it's because
I'd go in a heartbeat. It's so much fun.
I think people forget that Fiji does have winters. Like, even though it's, you know, a tropical island, it still is an island that gets cold because you're on the beach, and you guys are going pretty much like right at the beginning of winter, which isn't great. So
I know our first night there, you know, we got there and we built a little bit of shelter. You know, we weren't lazy, like we got it done, but it could start. And it was so nice out. We're just like, the sun's going down. We're talking on the beach. It's all good. And literally all of Manu, I'm sure Joe had already built like a 2-story thing, had fire going. But all of Manu just lays on the beach, and like 10 minutes after we lay down, it's freezing. And we end up in the morning like piled on top of each other. It was, Reem took the blanket and put it over me in the morning because I had gone and laid beside Reem. She was so nice, and we voted her out.
She was so nice, but then I made her leave.
It's so bad. It's like, that's why we voted her out. She still doesn't. It's bad. Survivor's weird. It's a weird game, guys.
Well, what else we got, Adam? What else do we have here? Do we still have more time with Rick, or what's going on here with this?
Yeah, I mean, did Rick? Sorry, I've been texting everyone a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been a what a twist.
Your girlfriend Michelle Fitzgerald in the background?
Again.
Did Rick get a chance to tell us his top 5, or who he would put at the top?
I did. I did.
He was in there. He was the only person so far who has put himself in his top 5.
Well, you know, a lot of the people to get up to the top, I feel like you have to play more than once. So I'm just taking into account how I'm going to do the second time.
I mean, pretty much you already did play a second time.
And look how well I did.
You did great. You made it to 4th place. Well, that's not bad at all. No, you had a great go of it your second round.
Yeah, I did. I mean, that's a pretty offensive take to someone who was out on an island for 38 days straight and got an advantage on the edge of extinction, figured out the maps on the edge of extinction, and won his way back in from the edge of extinction. But I do get your point.
Yeah, yeah. And you're not salty about my take, are you?
No.
What?
No. No. Oh, okay.
I don't think he heard your question, Phil.
I don't think so either. I asked if you were salty about my take, but I guess your silence was deafening.
Not.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, what are you thinking about, like, I don't know, like some of these other people? There's been some conflicts around some people here. Like Johnny Fairplay came in at 17. I know you're a fan here, so how do you feel about some of that? Like some of the more conflicting ones. I know you said you haven't paid attention to the list, but I'm gonna put you on the spot.
It's hard to think about it in terms of like all the people. Are people upset that he was high or low?
they're thinking he was too high. There's a lot that seems to be more of what it is. It feels like people are a little bit more frustrated that we've put people too high instead of too low, but then they don't really say who we put too low.
It's like what is it? You know, because it's like Fairplay had one season where he was like a pretty good player and could have won. So it's like in terms of a player, not super. In terms of like his effect on the game and his legend status, like easily top tier. But then his second appearance was awful. Just the worst. just horrible. I mean, that's gotta hurt. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's really hard. Did you guys have like any marks for what you're supposed to rank, or is everyone just like go do your own thing and come back? Was there like a guideline?
Everyone kind of did their own thing, which is probably why this is all over the place.
Legend is more important. Some people judge like strategy more. Like it's just whatever people were feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like the reason I put you at 91 was because like you did get voted out early. And even though you came back and did like a bunch of stuff, it's like that was one of my things. I always went by like the first time somebody played, but then Alexa and Adam didn't really think about that. That was just my own criteria. So don't take it personally.
So you dropped a lot of people real hard that did.
Yeah.
Because what Sari, I mean, like a lot of people did real bad at certain seasons and went early. How'd that affect your listing?
I pretty much only took it into account if it was their first season. I didn't knock Tony or Sandra for like going home early in one of their other seasons, but like Boston Rob finishing 10th on his first season, like I knocked him for that. Sarah finishing 11th on her season, I knocked her for that. So yeah, you know, like serious. So 91, I actually think very highly of you, Rick. Very, very highly of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So hey, Rick, I just wanted to say thanks so much for joining. We got a couple more people coming up here, so I just want to say thanks for helping us out, raise some money, raise awareness for the Fight Against ALS, and previewing the top 100 finale episode.
Awesome, guys. You guys have fun talking to a lot of like really cool people. This is going to be fun. Keep up the good work, and thanks to everyone who's donated. That's so cool.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. All right, so we have Russell Hantz coming up in just a few minutes here. Before we do that, I just wanted to remind everyone that we are here for two reasons. We are here to preview the finale episode for the top 100 greatest survivors. The finale episode is about an hour and a half away from now. We're revealing the top 10 list. And as well, we have... we're also, raising money for the Fight Against ALS, raising awareness. Jonathan Penner was here at the beginning to tell us a little bit about, what that all entails. We've had some great contestants come on so far. We have some more great contestants coming up. So since we are now in the second half of our show, we are going to be joined by our fearless leader of this channel, the Survivor legend himself. He's played 3 different times. He made it to the end twice on his first 2 seasons. The Idol King himself, he is in the top 10. He's our first guest today that is in the top 10. So joining us now is Russell Hantz. How's it going, Russell?
What's happening?
Russell, a guest on your own channel.
So the thing is, at first, I didn't want to put myself in the top 100. I didn't want to do that. I told Alexa and Phil, even Adam, I was like, I don't think I should be on the list because it just seems like it's just not right if I put myself on the list. Because I'm going to put myself at number 1, right? By the way, I did not put myself at number 1.
I was going to ask.
I did not. Because I give respect where respect's due. And then Alexa, you was like, it just wouldn't seem right. Everybody will always have the question, what isn't Russell on the list? What number would he have been? So I decided to go ahead and do it. So obviously I'm in the top 100. I know who makes the top 10. And I think because of the way it's placed, I'm not going to give any spoilers. I think that people are going to think the list is a little bit more legit because of the way it's placed in the top 10. Because if I was going to do the top 10, I would have Sandra number 11.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say, I've been reading all the comments. People have been leaving their own predictions based on who we revealed is in our top 10. I've seen probably over 300 lists between Survivor Reddit and on Twitter and in the YouTube comments. And surprisingly, I have not yet seen any list be exactly the way it is. And I don't think the top 10 is going to be that controversial. I think it's just so hard to organize because truly the people in our top 10 list are, you know, truly amazing, great players for different reasons. Some of them are, you know, bigger characters. Some of them had great moments. You know, it's not just a list of the best, most strategic players. You know, we kept in consideration how much of a character they were, big moments that they created, the impact they had on the game, a little bit of everything. So it's a really cool list. Again, we're revealing the top 10 in about an hour and a half here. Russell's going to be on for the rest of the show. We have a few more guests. Jonny Fairplay's coming up in about 10, 15 minutes. So if you guys want to ask Russell anything, donate $50 or more. The link to that is at the top of the description. $50, ask Russell anything.
So this is all donated 100% to ALS. You know, we feel like that it's something that we want to jump into. Of course, there's a lot of wonderful organizations that we could have chosen, but this one hits a little deep with Jonathan Pinner and his wife, with the Survivor family. So that's why we've decided to go this route. And I appreciate everybody that's donated. Have we hit 1,000 yet?
Almost.
Not yet, but we're close.
So close.
Oh.
Stacia, what are we at?
We're at $941. So we're really, really close to hitting that goal.
Almost 1,000, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, 100% goes to ALS. And yeah, that's that. So I wanted to talk a little about Tommy. I seen him come on here. He's such a good guy. And then as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, Tommy doesn't get the respect that he probably needs because of his season, what happened in his season. And I think that's sad because he could be a little higher, I'm sure, but it's recency biased, and that's how these things work. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, Phil, do you think that Tommy deserves to be in the top 50?
I have him at 30. So, yeah, I had him all the way up there. I had him all the way at number 30. I think he's more than deserving to be up there. I was surprised he came in at 74 because I figured with my 30, that would bump him. That would be enough to just move him up. I figured I'd have him the highest. But, yeah, he's just not a loud player. He's so quiet.
See, I think conversely, I had him low, which might have bumped him down a bit. And the reason why, and I explained this in the recap in case you guys missed it, but a big part, if not the single biggest part of my personal list, was the impact they had on the game of Survivor. So because Tommy just had his season 39, while he's an amazing, great player, and I'm sure he's going to rise in the top 100 ranks, because he's so new, his impact on the game really hasn't been felt yet. It hasn't resonated yet, as opposed to people.
Do you think it ever will because of the season? Now, it's not Tommy's fault. That's what sucks about all this, because he's a great player, and I think the reason he was lower on the list is because of that. For me, it was because of that. Mm-hmm. I don't know about Superfan or Adam, but go ahead.
I think in the future, like as more seasons air, I think people will appreciate him more, because right now Survivor is all idols, it's all advantages, and Tommy did none of that. And I think people will say right now that's really boring, but I think however many years or seasons from now, people will say, okay, it's even more impressive that he didn't need that, didn't need any of those things.
Yeah, I can see that.
It just takes time, because right now we're also in an era of Survivor that is so advantage heavy. So you got to do so many crazy things to win the game normally that I don't think we really know how to view it yet. And so I think it will take time. I do think, though, he's going to kind of suffer a little bit like the Iceman does, because people aren't going to go back and watch his season as much. Because, I mean, I know Alexa and we won't be recommending go watch Island of the Idols to on any of our shows. So I think that is going to hurt him a little bit. I really do agree.
Yeah. And, when you watch Winners at War, all of them deserved to be there because it was winners, but they had some in there that was like, why is this person here? And I'll be honest with you. I was the ones that said, why is Adam here? Why is Nick here? Why is Michelle here? Like, I said that out loud a few times. And all three of them surprised me in the season. So, you know, when you play, especially Adam, for me, he was like, and Michelle, she did what she does. She gets to the end, she played, she got to the end. Adam was like a force to be reckoned with. He reminded me of myself when it's like, I'm not going home. I do not care what I have to do. I don't care what's going to happen. I'm going to do what it takes to stay in this game. And that's why I got the respect for Adam when it comes to, I did not respect him on his win. I respect him as a person, of course. But when I talk about these players, just like I talk about Sandra, Rob, and all them, I talk as I watch it, as I'm in that fantasy world with them. And when you guys hear me say I hate Sandra and I hate Rob, I don't hate Sandra and Rob at all in the real world. I hate them in the game of Survivor. It's the fantasy world with me. It's in that world surrounded by a bubble where I'm a king of Samoa. Of course, it's funny. It's fake. It's a fantasy. But that's where I go back when I watch these players. Mm-hmm. So I respect Sandra. I don't respect that she quit the game. That was very upsetting to me. It was like, Sandra's a legend of the game. She's a mark. She is someone that we always talk about. Always. So when she does something like that, to me, it's like, why did you do that? You are the name that everybody talks about. Now they say, did she quit? Didn't she quit? So I didn't like that, but I respect Sandra's a great person. She's always signing autographs. She's always with her family. She's always doing these events. She's always on point when it comes to that kind of thing. Rob, last time I was with Rob, I was with an event. He said, man, you know what can happen if me and you work together? I'm like, me voting you out? That would never happen.
How'd that go?
That would never happen. The only reason me and Rob could never work together is because I could never personally trust him, because I know that he could never trust me. Mm-hmm. I know he'd be thinking it. I'd be thinking it. It just wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm. Russell, could you give us I'm going to go like a little backwards here. Could you give us what inspired you to start this top 100 list? What made you want to do this?
Well, what made me want to do it is to grow my channel, to be honest with you. But then
love the honesty.
But then it started taking another route. Adam, you need to text me my list. I don't have my list in front of me, just in case y'all ask me the question about. Oh, you can't ask me the question because I'm.
No, we don't want to know yet.
Yeah. Okay. So no, it's of course it's the channel. I'm dedicated to the channel, trying to grow it. But then it took a different turn, and I started getting texts from survivors. Adam started interviewing everybody. We started texting every day, every time we would talk about it. I would get you on the phone, texting certain survivors, getting a lot of people interested in it. Then I was like, okay, this is real. So we have to make this legit. Me and Adam was talking, and then I was fans of you guys' show, the Survivor Specialist. I even popped up there a couple of times. This is funny, Phil, because I popped up there and I asked Alexa, because I was like, I'm into pretty girls. That's just how I am. So I text and I say, while you guys are live, I message and I say, I want Alexa. I didn't want you on my show, Phil. I want Alexa on my show. And then Alexa says, why not Phil? Or stuff like that. And I'm like,
I gotta defend my guy.
Yeah.
I think I also said, Russell, what about me? What's wrong with me?
Right. So I'm like, I like that. First of all, I like teamwork. I like people that stick together. And to me, when you guys defended each other, I was like, okay, these guys are legit. you two weren't like, oh, Russell Hantz. You know, you were just like, no, not if my guy ain't up, and not, you know, and that's what I seen immediately from you two, and you have good content. So I was talking to Adam, and I was like, maybe, you know, Phil and Alexia would like to do this because they're respected in the community and they know Survivor. So that's how we went through that to get you two on board. Then I wanted, obviously, a super fan. It was randomly picked. I don't know about his question. He's probably watching. You can't judge people on them sitting at home, Corey. Corey's like, oh, I judged her on what I don't know about her. We have to judge them about what we do know. But nonetheless, it's a super fan. It's his mind. It's his picks. It's what he wants. So I respect every single person's picks and who they think should be on the list. Mine was, it was all about, like, my top 10 is legend status. My top 10 cannot be considered not a legend. For instance, if they were on Legends, you would be like, yes, I get it. My top 20 would be, I get it. I understand it. I'm okay with it. So when I did my top 20, I was like, number 20, am I okay with this person being on Legends? Yes. Am I okay with this person being on Game Changers when they didn't even play the game? No. So as we watch the game, and the thing that kills everybody about the Big Brother, Survivor, and all this, casting. Don't cast people on stuff like, for instance, Big Brother, we have a guy that was voted out first. He's an all-star. I love Beast Mode Cowboy. He was voted, he was medevac. I'd like to see him play again, to tell you the truth, but not Legends or not Game Changers. You know, I wish that that CBS or SCG would get together and do this the right way, because something is coming. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it because I was allowed to say it. I text.
Hey, Russell. Before you give the announcement, I just had two quick things I wanted to share. We officially have gone past the $1,000 mark.
That's good.
That's the first bit of good news.
1,001.
The second bit of good news is we are joined by a fan favorite, a two-time player. He was on Survivor Cagayan and Survivor Cambodia, Spencer Bledsoe. Thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
Pretty good. What's up, Adam? Hey, Russell.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Sorry I was a little bit late. Congrats on the $1,000. That's awesome.
Yes.
What's up, Spencer?
So I just wanted to say my little inside information here, and I asked the permission if I could actually say it. It's not really that much of a secret to a lot of people, not super fans, but I asked production yesterday. I texted them and said, are you casting? I have a live on my Patreon page, and I want to talk to them about stuff that's going on. Can you tell me any information that you actually can tell me without, you know, I don't want you to say nothing you can't say. And she was like, we are casting for season 33 right now.
What?
And I said, what about, 43.
Okay. There we go.
But that's just, to me, it was just as confusing, 43. And I'm like, what about 41 and 42? And they said, silence for a little while. And I said, why are you so tricky with me all the time? And she said, well, this world is a tricky place. ... Laughy face. I don't know. What does that mean?
Well, haven't they already cast 41 and 42? Weren't those kind of ready to roll and before the whole
41
pandemic?
41 was ready to go.
Not 42, though?
Not 42.
I don't know.
Yeah, what could you say? I don't know.
I was thinking it's up to Probst. I didn't even know if we were going to get more Survivor. I'm just glad they're still planning on doing something.
That was the biggest concern, I think, from the entire fan base, is that this would somehow end the entire thing. and we wouldn't even get to see a season 41 because we all knew it was coming back. But that would have been the biggest fear.
Did y'all really think that though?
I mean, that was a fear, something out there.
I figured as soon as Jeff says he's out, that could be a big catalyst to stop it for a few years at least.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see it coming back though, like in a few years, you know, stop for a while and then like a new era of Survivor.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, this is giving Jeff a break though. It's giving him a little break.
Yeah.
Let him rest the voice a little bit.
Well, Spencer, so what did you think about this list? I don't know if you saw where you came in. You came in at 49. How'd you feel about coming in at 49 on here?
Hey, it's not bad. I'll take it. I mean, there are 38 winners. So yeah, I'll take 49. That seems reasonable.
Right. That's not
I feel
too
like
bad.
right after Cagayan, it probably would have been higher and would have been like way too high. So 49 is probably a little more realistic.
Yeah, it's one of those rare instances where you place better in your second season and actually get knocked for it.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair. Like, placement isn't always how you do. You could definitely argue I played worse the second time. I think a lot of people see it that way. But, yeah, I don't know.
No, in my opinion, I thought Spencer is one of the greatest players to play the game. His second time. And I know people are like, you would say that. Of course, Russell would say that because of the way I perceive things. But I mean, you completely dominated. You completely dominated the season, way more that season than you did your first season. So for me, it's that. It's who controls the narrative in the game of Survivor. Who can move pieces where you want to move them without playing a chess match with someone else, and you're moving their pieces for them. To me, that's a dominant player.
Well, that's the thing. Like, control and domination aren't necessarily good playing. Like, Cagayan, I would have won if I had made it to the end, but I had zero control. The second time I had, not total control because it was just a mess. The whole season was chaos, but more control than, almost anyone else, and didn't have a chance toward the end. So
you see, that's the part I'm learning with. As I sat back, I wasn't able to sit back and watch myself the first 2 times, or the first 3 times, really. But then now as you sit back and you watch and you learn, you're like, wow, just because you're the MVP of the game doesn't mean that you're going to win the game.
Unless you're a firefighter with a kid on the way.
Well, no, I lost my dog. I lost my dog, Spencer.
Oh man! So yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing, but it seems like it was really well put together. This whole list, and I don't know. I don't know everyone who's in the running, but is it like Parvati, Boston Rob? Like, I'm guessing you still have a lot of the people from Winners at War in the running here.
Yeah,
Tony.
so I think the 10 are what are they, Adam? I know it's not the order, but it's like Tony, Sandra, Parvati, Sari, Boston Rob, Sarah, Jeremy, Tom, and JT. Did I get all of them?
Wow.
Is this based on votes at all, or is it like you, Russell?
No, this isn't. Look. At first I wasn't going to be. This is 5 people voting, so and then mathematically putting it together.
Are you one of them or no?
I am one of them.
Okay.
I did not put myself at first, but I put you pretty high. I put you in the top 20 to tell you.
I appreciate it.
So it's just. So I wanted to do it legit, and at first I wasn't going to put myself involved at all with it. And then the other judges were like, "We want to put you in it. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't." I was legitimately not going to be involved. I even made an announcement that I'm not going to be in the top, on the list. But everybody changed my mind, wanted to put me on the list, so I let them put their list. I put myself at who I thought that where I belong. It's not one.
Right.
I mean, I
thought on the Heroes vs. Villains finale, it sounded like it would be one.
Oh, it would have been one. It would have been one if Winners at War would have never happened.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. If Sandra gets one, are you going to be able to announce
If Sandra wins again at Winners at War, then then I put her at 1. Like I do a whole thing. Sure. Yeah, I mean, you have to. But I think that where I'm placed, it shows that I wasn't in control of the list. Even in the top 10. It's like, okay, because it's kind of cringing who's above me, but it is what it is.
Can't wait to watch this live.
Yeah.
So hey, Spencer,
try not to spoil anything.
Spencer, before we let you go, we have a question from a fan who made a donation, and they wanted to ask, between your 2 seasons, who do you keep in touch with the most? Who was your closest friend you made from your time on the show?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tony and I are boys. We talk all the time. I was the one who helped him figure out how to steal Russell's, approach to Survivor. And
I want to talk about that too.
Tony actually is one of the people, and then Shireen I keep in touch with here or there, and Bryce talk to sometimes. But there's really no one that I talk to like all the time. I'm very on the periphery of the Survivor social scene.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a second while Spencer's here. Spencer, you told me before that when you were watching the season, you seen me lost, and you thought that I should win the game.
Right.
That impacted you, and that's why you played the game of Survivor. Now, I want to know if your speech was almost like, I'm not going to allow this to happen again. Like it just happened. It happened to Russell. I'm not going to allow it to happen. So you said what you said, and Tony wins the game. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say that's fair, and that's like half the story. It's not. I wouldn't say you single-handedly inspired me to go on Survivor, but I did watch Samoa as my first season, and I was like, wow, the jury really is blinded by a lot of reactivity here. Bitter feelings, and I always thought you played the best game in Samoa, and not necessarily in Heroes vs Villains, but I think half of me wanted to make sure Tony didn't get snubbed the way you did. I mean, come on, like Wu being the winner or Cass being the winner at that point was just didn't feel like a good story to me. Didn't feel like how I wanted my season to go out. I wanted it to be a good season and a good story. So yeah, that was a lot of it. But I also, realistically, I didn't necessarily think I was going to convince everyone. I thought maybe a few people, but I thought Tony had a good shot. So I wasn't necessarily thinking I was going to prevent that from happening. Right. But if I could, change the percentage even slightly.
As a fan watching the game, when I watched Tony, almost play like I played, almost a mirror of like I played, I'm like, how is he winning and I didn't? So, of course, that's my reaction. But I think that when Tony wins, it changes everything, just like season 19 changed everything for Survivor. It changed everything on how people can actually play and perceive the game. I think when he wins, it made people like me be able to win. So then I was like, I went from the best player ever in my own mind to I got to beat this guy because he just did what I tried to do and he actually won. Do you think that it's just time that helped that?
I mean, I think also you and Tony are not the exact same person. Trish's anger at Tony is not the same as Laura Moret's anger at you, right? Trish loved Tony underneath her hatred for him. And so once all the dust settled and she vented and said what she needed to say, she still loves the guy and actually does want to give him, her vote. You were in a completely different situation because you were on the minority going in with Foa, and you were perceived by the Galoo people as why everything went wrong. So they really hated you, and their Survivor egos wouldn't allow them to vote for you. So I don't think even in a modern era or even in Cagayan in that situation, it necessarily would have changed. But I would say that you paved the way for it to be easier for someone like Tony to win. I think that's fair.
All right.
All right. Well, hey, Spencer, we wanted to thank you so much for joining, for helping us preview our finale episode for the top 100 survivors, as well as helping us raise some money and awareness for ALS charity. And yeah, thanks so much for taking the time out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing that for ALS and Penner's organization as well. It's a really cool thing that you're doing, and I'm happy to help in a small way. Once again, sorry for any timing issues.
No worries.
Yeah. Cheers. I'm excited
All
to
right,
see
guys. I appreciate
it.
Later, man.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys see in the ticker below, donate $25, and you can ask anything you want to whichever survivor is on the screen, whether it's Russell or any survivors we have coming up, or me, or Stacia, or Phil and Alexa. Anyone you want, $25. The link is at the top of the description.
I need someone to donate 25 and ask Stacia a question.
Absolutely. So coming up next, we have one of the most popular contestants to have ever played the game. Arguably the most infamous, the most well-known moment in the history of Survivor is, of course, the dead grandma lie. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Jonny Fairplay.
What am I looking at?
Oh, that is a award for being the biggest
that's
villain.
the Billy Garcia coin.
It's a freaking coin.
I'm talking to you, Alexa.
There's like 400 live viewers. 2 people are gonna get that reference, and that's what's great.
What is that coin?
I can live with that. Russell, this is the greatest. This is better than an immunity idol. It is the Billy Garcia Survivor coin.
No way.
Yes.
How come I don't have one of them, Johnny?
It is the greatest thing I own. I mean, like, when I get engaged, I'm not giving a ring.
Wow.
I'm handing over the coin.
I don't even have one of them. That's amazing.
It's a pretty
congratulations.
It's a pretty big deal.
Congratulations. I love that.
I've been places.
Right.
So this is a cool deal. Thank you for having me. I dressed up. I wore my DILF tank top.
Was wondering what shirt you were wearing today.
Yeah, that's for Phil. Those are available at JohnnyFairplay.com, of course. Let's hear a word from Blue Chew, and let's get this thing going.
Yeah, right.
Blue Chew.
Your entire segment's just going to be that ad read, and then we'll bump you out.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not right.
You guys want to talk about my fantasy football teams? I don't know. So, hey, I'm here. We're talking about the top 10 coming up, and I'm anxious to see who's on there, who's at that #1 spot. I know I put it out there that I think it's cool that you guys had me at number 17 or whatever, and I also get to be #1. I think that's cool. I mean, I don't understand how your math works, but I'm for it. So
we have to keep people on their toes, you know?
Yeah. So they're like, wait a second. It's like, So the #1 spot is subtracting fans versus favorites.
Look,
it's all good.
I remember when I played the game, and then I came out, and then I was like, of course I knew there was only very few people that I knew in the game. When I actually, because I didn't watch the show, a lot of people know that. I knew Fairplay, I knew Boston Rob, I knew Rupert, and I knew Parvati. So when I was when I was in my room, I was watching videotapes. That's all I did. I kept watching and watching, keep sending them to me. Like I'd sleep like 4 or 5 hours. I kept watching and watching.
My good friend David on Big Brother, he did the same thing, except
he did not do that.
Yeah,
and that's the opposite of that.
Maybe he was watching Love Island. I don't know. I'm not covering it, so someone has.
He was in a room for 14 days too.
Yeah, not watching Big Brother at all.
Not watching Big Brother.
Like second day in the house. With his
so I'm watching.
So yes, Russell.
But I knew Fairplay before.
Is watching Survivor.
I knew Fairplay without watching. There was a few that I knew without watching the show. I was never a super fan of the show, but in passing, I would see the characters and watch the show, like Richard Hatch, people like that. So after I played and got off the show, Fairplay did a skit one time. I don't know if you remember the skit, and it pissed me off. You had boots on at your knees, and you were like, I'm Russell Hantz.
Oh, I did Dorf on golf.
Yeah, and then you had your hat on.
I wore the hat. Yeah, I did Dorf on golf. I'm Russell Hantz. The patrons at ad-free NSFW, they love my Russell Hantz impression. I agree.
Do you still have that video? We have to post that video.
I do. I'll find it.
You got to repost that video.
Shoot your way. That was so much fun. Like I didn't. I liked you. I mean, I don't now, but I liked you then.
Right. No, for me, it was like I didn't know how to understand anything after the fact. I never watched it. I wasn't a fan. So when I wasn't able to appreciate that kind of stuff. Now, of course, I can appreciate that kind of stuff. But it's like, man, who's this guy? I mean, I knew who he was, but he's pissing me off. But I was like, Jonny Fairplay's talking about me. There you go. So then I was, it come to a point to where
if they're talking about you, they ain't talking about you.
That's right.
I think those are pretty prophetic words.
So Fairplay, I have something I want to ask you about the grandma thing. Has anybody ever been really offensive towards you because it was so much hate? Because for me, I never got nobody ever actually come up to me and try to attack me or anything like that. Has anything like that?
I was knocked unconscious 4 times. 2 times I woke up in the hospital. Just people and they don't. The crazy
just randomly hit you.
That's the thing. I'm not that big, so if you wanted to fight me, you're gonna win. I mean, if
but they would just randomly start.
Oh no!
You?
Sucker punch from the side to the temple.
Oh,
as hard as they fucking could.
That's
on
rough.
Purpose. Yeah, there were cases of over 20 people threw bricks or whatever through they broke their television on the dead grandma lie. I mean, it hit over 20 people sent feces to CBS. Attention, Jonny Fairplay. So
what do you think lived at CBS?
It's very that's very interesting to me because what do you think happened from I never got that kind of hate. Now I was in fake Katrina. Yeah. Hurricane fake and my dog died. So what happened? Did they not accept it then and they started accepting more of a villainous role later on as time goes along? What do you think happened?
I think I think South Park hit right after. I think that made a difference. I think the world changed. I mean, if you watch Jonny Fairplay on Survivor and then 2 years later watch Evil Dick, they're comparable characters, except but South Park and D-Generation X and the NWO and wrestling and all that was a thing. The irreverence era is what I call it, and so someone like me that would have been lauded, is not, and then someone like Evil Dick playing a very similar character. Is and I was cool. I like the dichotomy of good guy versus bad guy, so I'm cool with it. And I'm as much as it sucked in emergency room visit bills and stuff like that, I'm cool. The fact that I was knocked out 4 times, I wear that as a badge of honor. I mean,
I wouldn't have liked that at all.
Well,
that's not my style at all.
I don't want being knocked out, but at the same time, it's just wow, I was really fucking good at what I did.
No, I seen you say one time that you were more hated than, was it Saddam Hussein at the time or something like?
The week Saddam Hussein was assassinated or was killed or whatever.
Yeah.
Or captured. Sorry, the week Saddam Hussein was captured. The front page New York Post, the headlines read, "Most hated man in America, Jonny Fairplay." Saddam Hussein was on page 2. That's insane. So, in case you guys are wondering about the
blows my mind.
I've been playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Love it.
And so I wear the Rector glove on the on the manual.
Did I see your grandmother just celebrated a birthday?
Yeah, 86. 86th birthday, and then she did it. She cut a promo for Tito's vodka. I don't know. She wants to go out happy.
Love it. I wanted to say, Jonny, I've always respected you and your gameplay. I know back in the day, I don't understand how me and you never got in a really physical fight because of who we were back then and what we were going through. Because now. I see that we were both going through probably a pretty rough patch at the same time and period in our life. I appreciate the change in your life and who you've become today. You're a totally different person, and I just wanted to say that I appreciate that, and I always respect you as a player, and you're doing a great job on your YouTube channel. Yes,
thank you.
Pat him on the back.
My audio numbers are much better, but thank you. I'm more like I think my audience jogs more, perhaps runs, and so as a result, my audio numbers are really good. But I don't watch a lot of stuff either, so I get it.
But you cannot have, if we ever had a legend season, you cannot have one without the two bottom left. I don't know if it's bottom left for everyone.
Bottom left for mine.
So these people own Survivor.
Yeah,
it just won't happen.
You guys want to see two guys with hand grenades playing the game of Survivor. There you go.
But to be honest with you, Johnny, I don't think we're going to be. If they did a legend season, I think we're going to have each other opposite of each other.
I do not expect us to be on the same tribe to start.
Yeah, right.
But we'll have 12 tribe swaps because that'll be the cool bit. So you were talking about
12 tribe swaps and 12 idols. So just remember, I have an idol.
I know.
Saying.
You're starting with an idol. If you don't, I'd be upset. So no, you were talking about casting for they said 43. I mean, so the latest news that's out there is season 41 will air. It appears fall of 2021. You know, they're filming in April and June. And if that's the case, with a 1 year hiatus, I gotta feel that it's a newbie season followed by a returning season. I'm not saying legends, potentially second chance. I'm cool with the name Survivor alumni, so that you can have people like David from Big Brother play, and it's not an insult to the word All Stars. That's just. That's just me.
Yeah.
So, but I just can't imagine them going an entire year without having a new season and then not having some version of it. I mean, the case in point with the challenge, there's a reason they bring back people. They have enough in the talent pool to pull from to make good TV. Why not just continue to pull from the pool that you know and make good TV?
That's what's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be you or I, but I do know that just like they did for Big Brother, the Corona stuff going on, they decided to go that route to where it would be easier to just choose people that we already know. That's why we're seeing All-Star Big Brother, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Did you see what they're doing instead of Celebrity Big Brother for January? They're going to do Legends Big Brother and Janelle, Kaser, Dan, Derek. They've already agreed to do it. Like
I didn't know
29-day version of Big Brother in January instead of Celebrity.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I'm for it. I'm so for it. Like that's what I wanted to see during All Stars, but it's just like I'm not watching that. I mean, I have coverage every Monday and Thursday, but that's not what I came for.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do coverage when they're not doing anything. I mean, it's hard to do a player's performance
Pre-game Alliance
when there's not players' performances.
Yeah, are you anti Pre-game Alliance, Russell? I mean, I know.
Well,
I know you're debaucherous and you're known for chicanery and every other adjective that I could say that means you're bad.
Right.
At the same time,
I mean, I don't know.
I think you do love the game.
I do,
and I think you would love to just. I think you would, if something happens out here and you gain an unfair advantage. That happens, right?
Well, the thing is,
to go
Johnny,
into the game cheating, like doesn't that kind of like taint it a little bit?
Here's the deal with that. I'm like, you're right. I'd rather it be pure.
Yeah.
The game of Survivor.
But everyone else is doing it.
But I know it's not going to be pure. You know it's not going to be pure. So I even talked to production one time, and I'm like, are y'all going to ever implement the fact that, you have to implement this into the game somehow. You have to. and we see that the Poker Alliance and all that stuff. I don't like it that it's there, but it's there. So am I going to call anybody?
You're stupid if you don't.
I think you're stupid if you don't.
Yeah, I like that. I think that defines the difference between a villain like me and a villain like you and Boston Rob. And I'm on record to say that I think you and Boston Rob play a better game in that I couldn't do that, and you guys view it immensely different. I mean, like, yes, I'm a bad guy, but you're just like, it's the fucking game. Like, this is what I can, like, I applaud you for it and I admire you for it, but like, it's not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Well, fair play. I think Adam's audio is messed up, so I'm gonna jump in for him because his audio is messed up and it's coming through clicky. But you're getting the boot, Johnny Fairplay. You're getting the boot.
Well.
That's what's happening.
Thank you for having me once again.
Blame her.
Great calls here. Thank you so much. And everybody donate and let's hit that $2,000 mark.
Right? Thanks, Fair Play.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
See you later.
All right.
You're terrifying.
He sounds like he is
Still sounds
Star Wars is happening.
Alexa, let's introduce the next person because Adam Jumba sounds like a monster.
Sorry about that, Adam.
Next up, we have coming in. We're running about 10 minutes behind here. So for anybody who's down there waiting, we're a little bit 10 minutes behind here. But next up, we have one of everybody's all-time favorite players, the Khaleesi, Kelley Wentworth.
Oh my God, I didn't think I was going to get in. Russell, you guys would not shut up.
I don't know.
I was like,
I don't have a schedule. Kelley, I don't have a schedule. Nobody gives me a schedule.
No, Adam was trying. I could tell a couple times he was like, you and Johnny just kept fucking talking. Excuse my language.
What am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. I got to be quiet.
I'm happy you're here, Kelley. I'm happy we're finally able to talk to you. I miss you.
It's going to go on for way too long.
Yeah. And everybody wants to hear from you, Kelley. Not Fair Play. No, I'm just kidding. We all love Johnny Fair Play.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But hey, guys, good to be here.
Hello.
What's up?
It's great having you.
This is how it's going to be when me and Kelley's playing on the island together. I'm going to be like,
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
You're over here.
I promise to be nice.
Be nice.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Kelley,
how's life been post Edge of Extinction?
Oh my God, why did I agree to that? Why did I agree to that? And it's been fine. I just block it out of my memory like it never happened, and it's fine. Yeah, everything's good. Weird 2020, but we're all in it together, so.
Yeah, it's weird to say the least. It's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
So what did you think about your placement here coming in? You come in at number 39 on the all-time greatest survivors list. How does that feel?
Okay, well, the number 39 is not my favorite number, guys, for many reasons. So I don't know how I feel about this, but no, that's great. That's really cool. I think there are a lot of really great people on the list. It was really fun to talk about other people and kind of explain kind of, other players' point of view on some of the other folks on the list. So yeah, and really.
What is that?
Terminator Kelley.
All right, I just muted Adam. Sorry, Adam, you're done.
Was that me?
No, that was Adam.
That was,
feedback.
Am
I coming?
You're done.
You have to fix that. You have to fix that.
Adam, we're gonna keep muting you. Gotta keep muting you, Adam. Sorry about that. Kelley, as you were saying.
I don't even remember.
Is that for
real? A
real?
lot of good players on this list, and it's very well done. So props to you guys for the great production quality I've enjoyed watching.
That's hours of me sitting at my computer.
Yeah,
Is that a
Russell
lie?
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a definite lie.
I'm already on to you, Russell. See, this is gonna go
I already know.
really well.
I already know. I know you're on to me, so gotcha.
I know. But this is really cool. So thank
And
you
if
guys.
anybody wants to ask Kelley a question, she can be on for like another 6-7-ish minutes. $25, you get to ask her anything.
Ooh.
Now, how we're going to get to that question, I don't know, because Adam's the one who's been looking at that. Stacia, I don't know if you have it, but I mean, unless we want Adam to come in and just like
Adam has to be
ruin
the one
eardrum.
Yeah, Adam can fix that. He's the smart producer here. Adam, fix your shit.
Get it together. We don't have time for this. Come on.
Get it together.
Kelley, who would your top 5 be if you had it your way?
My top 5? That's such a hard question.
I know that's a lot.
Okay, I definitely think Sari, even though she has not won the game, I will, until the day I die, say she's one of the best players to ever play. I really do think that she is. I think that because Sandra has won twice, you have to put Sandra in there. I think, obviously, I'm a little biased about Jeremy because I played with Jeremy, so I think he's really fantastic. I also feel like you have to put Boss and Robin because it's like, I don't know. It's just Boss and Rob. Like, everyone knows Rob, right? And then I think Parv, too. Like, one of the greatest females to ever play, in my opinion. So that's probably where I would go. But a lot of really great players, so it's tough.
I remember Kelley. I don't talk to Kelley much, but I remember talking to you when you were about to go play in your season, and I said, "Go make yourself a legend." You remember me telling that?
You did say that. Yes. And a very good mentor.
And I want to know, Phil and Alexa, do you think that not the time you just went back, the second time you went back, that when you because the first time you played, you really didn't get the opportunity. The second time she played, do you think that she submitted herself to where she can be considered for a huge season like a legend season?
Russell, are you trying to take credit for this?
No.
I'm trying to.
Oh no, I mean I don't. She knows I'm not trying to take credit for it, but I wanted her to be a legend only because I knew she had what it took. It's weird how I can see that in people sometimes, but I can't. And I knew that she had what it took. And the second time she played, it was like she was the boss. Do you guys agree? What do you think?
Yeah. I think her second game's her best game, and I think we both told her that. I love her second game. And I think it cemented her, and I said this. I think it cemented her as like the female character for the 30s. It was like between her, Aubrey, Andrea, like those types of players. Yeah. And I think that because you came right at the beginning in season 31, I think it just cemented you. And like people love you so much. Like it's insane. It's crazy.
Stop it.
They love you so much, Kelley. I mean, I don't get it, but they love you so much. No.
Hey guys, is my microphone?
Yeah.
You're back. Okay, so I'm glad it's working because Kelley, we have 2 donations. We have one. Shamanka would like a shout out, if you wouldn't mind. Shamanka, yes.
Shamanka, hey, thanks for donating.
There you go.
And then we also have a donation from Zach, who would like to know what was your favorite moment you had in your Survivor career.
Hey Zach, thanks for donating. Thanks for the question. So I think it's between getting the idol from the challenge and idling out Andrew Savage, which seem like obvious answers, but probably idling out Andrew Savage because everyone was against me.
By the way,
Russell?
You know what I'm about to say. With that Savage idled out, Kelley broke my record, with which most votes against you and playing an idol. Congratulations.
Wait, Russell, that was not part of the training that you're talking about.
The training, I didn't know. Are you going to call it training? Okay.
It wasn't.
You can call it training.
You're a very good coach. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Kelley, we have another donation from.
What's happening here?
That's what I mean. Everybody loves Kelley Wentworth.
I know.
From the donation is from Caitlin. She would like to know, who was your favorite partner in crime while you played Survivor of all your seasons?
Okay, Caitlin, thanks for donating.
That's Caitlin Moore, by the way.
No.
That's in.
Wait, what? What is she doing watching this?
That's casting.
Caitlin Schnaub.
Okay. I have to say Lauren because we went through some crap together and we were like from day one playing together. But obviously playing with Abby, playing with Sierra was also very fun in Second Chance. But I have to go with my girl Lauren O'Connell because we were like day one, ride or die homies. Yeah.
I'm shocked by that answer after knowing the two of you. Shocked.
Dude, her with
Really?
Abby. Look, by the way, my training was like, Kelley, don't play with Abby. That's what I said.
But do I get some more credit then for playing with Abby?
Yes, because I've never played with Abby. So first of all, you don't really know until you're out there. You don't know. You have your own, you're like, can I trust this person? Can I not? It doesn't matter what someone tells you. Yeah. When you see it, when you're there, you're like, I can trust this person. I feel I can trust this person. Mm-hmm. And if you don't go with what you feel what you feel, then you'll hate yourself at the end of the day. Like, for instance, Phil, in fantasy football, if I feel that I should play Russell Wilson, which I did, but I didn't, I'm pissed off at myself at the end of Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay,
now
hold on.
That's what I am.
Hold on, Russell. And we're probably running over time. Now I'm the new Johnny Fairplay. Did you play Russell Wilson today?
I did not pick him, and I felt that I should have.
That's your own fault. You deserve. If you get a loss this week, that's on you. You always pick Russell. Come on.
I mean, yeah. Well, you're from. you're gonna always say that. I went and looked at. I was like, okay, I hope Seattle lost, so I can say something to Kelley.
All right, that's it. I'm out.
There's
awesome. Well, Kelley, thank you so much for joining, for helping us raise some money and some awareness for ALS, and helping us preview the top 10 of the greatest survivors live in about 45 minutes. Yeah, thanks so much for joining. And
thanks, Kelley.
And please don't forget the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Seattle Seahawks in
2006. 2006.
How long?
2006.
Sorry, I don't even remember back that far.
In 2006.
All right. Thanks so much, Kelley.
Bye, Kelley.
All right. Thanks so much for everyone donating. We are at $1,202. Apologize for all the eardrums that I ruined with my microphone. Not sure what happens. We are joined by yet another winner, someone that you guys just saw on Survivor Season 40. He's a fan favorite. Please welcome Adam Klein to the screen.
Adam,
what's up, guys? What's up, Russell? Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Alexa.
What's up? I was kind of mad at you for a little while.
I know you were. You texted me very passively aggressively.
I am a passively aggressively kind of guy. But it's because I feel so passionate about what I'm doing.
Well, but
did I not give you credit?
No,
the
you
entire
did.
Season?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And did I not say I would come on your show? I just said I didn't.
You did.
And you know,
I don't know why I got so
Alexa,
mad.
do you know why he got mad?
I have no idea what the
because
issue
I went on your show.
No, that's not why. No. I never got mad that you went on their show.
I think that's what it was. No, you said I see you going on everybody's shows.
Yes,
now.
I did. I said that, but it wasn't.
But
it wasn't specifically.
Adam, it's okay. We're your favorite. It's fine.
No. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I mean, I told Russell. I know. I told Russell from the beginning. I said I've already agreed to do Survivor Specialists and to do Rob. Maybe we do something in the fall.
No, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
I'm gonna read it.
Go back to the message. I told you exactly what I was gonna do, and then when I did it, you got upset.
No. He said maybe some other time, and I'm like,
I said I can come on in the fall.
In the fall.
Yes,
the fall.
I need you now, Adam.
Well, I said I'm just be repeating myself from everything I said. But wait, Penner is here, and this is terrible time for us to be arguing.
I was just gonna say, poor Jonathan Penner has to come in and listen to Adam and Russell beat each other up. I mean, it's crazy.
I love.
I want to hear. I'm sorry, I haven't been.
I love Adam. He's a great competitor.
I'm sorry, guys.
I love his. I think we're backing each other up here.
Yeah, there's just a little delay with Penner.
Okay, so what I was saying is
Russell, I just want to real quick say you have a question from T, who donated to charity. T wants to know when JT and Colby gave you the idol, how did you keep yourself from laughing?
Well, first of all, it was JT that gave me the idol, but Cody told me about it. I was so shocked. I wasn't sure that I knew that it was a possibility that they could do something like that, but because I kept saying that I put myself at a disadvantage with an all-girl alliance, but I didn't know it was like really going to happen. It was like in a dream world for me. So when it actually happened, I don't know. It was a sobering moment. That it's one of those moments in your life that you look back on and you're like, yes, my kids being born was great, but that, yes, amazing.
Can I see that we've raised now $1,229, which is amazing, and awesome. I love it. And I now want to ask Adam, because Adam, I see your hair. How much money is it going to take to raise before you'll cut that? Because it is just getting out of control. I mean, have you cut it since you did our interview back in May?
No, the last time I cut my hair was my birthday, January 15th.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's wild. I had to work on this for you guys. And then it's also laundry day, so I had to wear the banana onesie.
We have 5 more minutes with Adam. So I want to talk to Adam for a second. So Adam, I thought the way you played the game remind me of myself when I'm like a wounded puppy. Well, I wouldn't. I'd be
wounded puppy version of Russell. I think that's a compliment.
I'm more of a wounded.
I think it was a good thing.
Well, I'm more of a wounded pit bull. Adam's a wounded puppy. He's like he's just such a good guy. So it's you see what I'm saying.
I wounded myself though. I totally wounded myself.
Yeah, but I seen that too. But when you see that you did something opposite of what you thought you should have done, when you're like, what did I just do? Did you sit back at camp after? Because we seen the edit, but did you sit back and you said to yourself, man, I'm effing up right here. Like, what am I doing? Was you saying that to yourself?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. When Ethan was voted out, I was like, wow, I just really pooped my pants here. This was not a good thing because I got blown. I was in such a good spot. I had everybody on that tribe working with me, but the problem was that it was unsustainable. Like if we lost again, which we did, I didn't know what to do because I was like, I can't vote anybody out here. Like I'm good with everybody. And if I vote anyone out, it's going to piss off like 2 other people because there were like some clear like groups. But
last question.
Had to go. Yeah.
Last question. What could you have done differently?
Well, I mean, with the hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, what I should have done was just stuck with Rob and Parv and Ethan and kept Denise, with them and voted out Ben. But Ben was a really close friend before the game started. I thought he was one of the only people in the game at that point that I felt like I knew I could beat at the end. I felt like he was going to be loyal to me. And I was like, it's too early to be getting rid of somebody who I think is going to be, really important to my game long term. And so because of this desire to protect Ben, I switched everything up. Obviously, it came back to bite me because then even Ben distrusted me after that, even because he didn't realize the extent to which I had put myself on the line to try to save him. So it was just a total disaster. But yeah, that was a big mistake, obviously.
And all the fans are still heartbroken that you didn't go the way you just talked about because everybody wanted the old school players in the game, Adam. Everybody.
Yeah, but
was that a thing? Was that a thing?
What do you mean?
did y'all like we getting rid of old school players?
No, no, not at all. Not for me. I mean, I wanted to work with a bunch of them. You know, I had a lot of interest in working with Sandra if we ever played together. Rob was someone that I aligned with from day one because I saw him as the only person on my tribe that had sort of the balls to change the target.
Is that why you went to him?
Definitely.
That's not. I can tell you, if I was with you, I would have been like, "Don't tell Rob anything."
Oh, right. At that point, you mean when I told him that? Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about like day one. I saw him as the only person that was going to be willing to move the needle, move the target. Everyone else is playing really safe. So I was like, I need someone who is going to be willing to like play big to change things, because if nothing changes, I'm in trouble. So that's why I went full force in like aligning with Rob. I stuck by his side like all day long. And by the time the second day rolled around that night, he was like, all right, we're good. Like we're, you know, and then I was like, all right, then we're, you know, we roll it from there. So I had a lot of interest in working with the old schoolers, and I was surprised that it went the way that it did. And I still don't really understand exactly why. I don't think it was a concerted effort by the new schoolers to like gang up on them.
Hey, Adam, we have 3 donations for you.
Awesome.
If you wouldn't mind, just I know you don't have too much time left, so if you wouldn't mind just answering quickly.
Sure.
The first is actually just if you could give a shout out to your biggest fan in the chat. His name is Canuck Guy 27. If you wouldn't mind giving Canuck Guy 27 a shout out.
What's up, Canuck Guy 27? It was fun being in the chat with all you guys earlier. I've been watching for a while. It would have been fun to be in here with you know, John and Kelley and everybody, but I understand you guys are rolling through everybody. But yeah, what's up to the chat and what's up, Canuck Guy? Thanks.
Awesome. The first question is from Kevin. He wants to know, during the tribal where Jessica got knocked out, were you hoping? Who were you hoping to pick the Rock besides yourself?
Honestly, just anybody from the other side. I felt like I needed Jessica in the game at that point, and then being down 4-5 was like a really, really scary situation. But I also knew that was possible, and it's why I held on to my idol so that I could even the score, and we could go back 4-4 if we did lose out on the draw. But what I was really hoping was that Will would flip his vote. I thought Will would flip, and I think he would have if Jessica hadn't like made it look like she might flip, because the last thing Will would want to do is flip and Jessica flips, and then we go to rocks anyway, even though they're trying to avoid rocks. Do you know what I mean? Like that could happen. And so if Jessica had said, I'm going to rocks, like we're sticking strong, because I was saying that and Dave was saying that, and the 3 of us had stayed strong verbally, I think it would have spooked Will enough where he'd be like, I'm not going to rocks, and he would have flipped.
Awesome.
What did she say?
Very cool, Adam. Well, thanks so much for joining, for helping us raise some money and awareness for the fight against ALS. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for doing this. Jonathan, I wish we got to chat a little more about the cause and everything, but I know you guys will be doing that later. Thank you to everybody donating. Really, really cool what you guys are doing.
Thanks brother. Adam. Absolutely. Thank you, Adam.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Adam.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. We are up to $1,279. We have just a few more guests left because we're only half an hour away from revealing the top 10 of our top 100 greatest survivors. We're previewing the finale episode and raising money and awareness for the fight against ALS. We have a very special guest coming up right now. He placed number 16 on our top 100 list. He's a Survivor legend. You know him from Survivor the Amazon, as well as Survivor All-Stars, as well as Rob has a podcast. Please welcome Rob Cesternino to the stream. Rob, thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
Yes. I just got home from getting number 16 tattooed on my lower back. Number 16. I did it. Adam, I feel like you were reading that off a script. You don't know my bio off the top of your head?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll next time. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Got it. Ask me Russell or Jonathan Penner's bio. I don't need a script.
Yes, thank you. Right on.
Yeah.
So So I wanted to talk to Jonathan for a little while.
Yeah, but
just a second.
Did I leave?
No, you're still here. You're right there.
We're going to talk about you.
Wait,
Before we ask, we already have a question from Rob, and that is from Rafi, and it's what is your all-time favorite challenge that you competed in?
Oh, I would say the challenge that I won immunity. It was those are all the best ones when you win. But it was touchy subjects was what it was.
So yeah, that's a great challenge. I agree. With that.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, man, we are raising money right now for ALS. It is 100% goes to that, and as a loving father and family man, it's really hard for me to even comprehend or understand how you even deal with it or take it, or it's a hard situation. So I just want to know, where do you get the strength to be able to move, to be able to just with a smile on your face and to be able to keep pushing forward with what you're trying to do? For me, man, I don't know. People think I'm a strong guy. I'd probably be in the corner crying half the time. So that's my question to you. Where do you get the strength to do this?
Well, I thank you for the question. It's great to be here, buddy. I thank you for doing this. I am in the corner half the time crying. I mean, that's the truth. I cry a lot. We all do, because it's very sad. And where do you get the strength? I don't know. I think that people have been very kind to me and said like, "Oh, you're very brave." I'm not that brave. I'm just trying to rise to the occasion and take care of my wife. That's all. I'm lucky enough to have a wife who I adore, who is my life partner, and she's in a terrible state, a terrible position, and my family's in a tough position. So all you do is you try to meet the challenge. It's like in Survivor. You get a challenge and you never did this thing before. You never ran over here and did, all these crazy things, but you got to do it. So you try to do your best, and one of you is going to win the challenge. So I just get up every day and try to take care of her. She's here. Would you like to say hi?
Sure.
I'll show you how I find the strength. Here's how you find the strength.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy. This
right there. The most beautiful person in the world, and so when you have someone and you see the state she's in, and she's right there with you guys, with us, and she's very, very, vulnerable and in a tough spot. So all you do is your best, and I don't know that the best that I'm doing is the best that can be done. I know it's not. And, every day I screw up and, make mistakes, or, I've almost killed her numerous times by accident. I'm laughing because what do? You forget to push the button, or, her life is very, very, very vulnerable. And so you just get up every day and say, what are we doing today? And do the best you can, as everybody out there would do.
I just want to say I got respect for you, man. I know that has to be a tremendous burden. I got your back. I've never met you.
Yeah, man.
But I got your back always. If you need anything, you can call me. I know how hard it must be. I can't even comprehend. I just want to say that I'm here for you.
Russell, I thank you, man. I thank you very much. And I appreciate that. I really do. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys and raise a little bit of awareness and raise some money. This is fantastic that people are giving. I know it's a tough time for everybody. It's a crazy time, right? For all of us, it's crazy. And so that you guys are able to think about other people who may be in even greater need, then that's wonderful. So thank you. Thanks for the tips, man. Thank you.
All right. So that's that's what we're doing this for. I understand it. I have your back, man. So we'll get back to Rob C.
Yes.
The man,
Hello.
the myth, the legend. You
Yeah.
man. Hey, we cannot, none of us could do what we do without you. It's an amazing feat, man.
Look, I think people could do what they do without me.
You can't.
Let's not get carried away.
I mean, they can, but it would have to be somebody like Fairplay or something. It couldn't be me.
What would have to be Johnny Fairplay?
No, I mean you step in the role of making the whole reality podcast, YouTube type thing. That would have to be Fairplay. It couldn't be me. I'm not that good. You're.
I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying, but I think it's a compliment. I'll say I appreciate it.
Well, if it wouldn't be you that did it, if let's say you decided not to do the podcast,
Yes.
someone.
You think
would
Johnny Fairplay would invent podcasting?
That was just being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah. Let's not get carried away. Yeah.
I'm just saying it couldn't be me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Well, you've created a cottage industry. I mean, you've created something. I'll have to confess that when you started, I'm like, okay, I don't know. Is that a thing? Is this something that people are going to be interested in? And you saw the future and knew that people would be interested. And in fact, you're the man. You are now the Survivor man, which is
let's not get carried away. But
at first, I did not.
What are you, the Survivor woman, the Survivor child? You're the Survivor child.
I'm the Survivor child.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're the one who wouldn't take the compliment. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rob, you can flip it back to Alexa and I if you want. You could just start talking about us.
Voting child.
Golden child. Okay.
What is that?
Yes.
Anybody know what that is?
But
the Golden Child.
Yes. That I have to say that Survivor Philippines was one of the first couple of seasons that we covered, and Penner, you made it very, very fun to talk about Survivor that season.
Oh yes, it was all on me. I did it all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks to me, you have a career. It's absolutely true.
That was one of the most fun seasons. And yes, and thanks to Russell also, who I always say is somebody who I'm not sure Survivor would still be on the air if Russell didn't walk in the door when he did.
Wow. Yes, I appreciate that. But so us three together, without us, there's nothing.
Survivor would be nothing.
If
Who's
Survivor
Richard
was
Hatch?
on the air, yes, it wouldn't be there. Yeah.
Russell, you are the Kirstie Alley of Survivor. You kept that go. Do you know that reference, Rob? You must know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of the who was the Diane?
Shelley Law.
Shelley Law. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her leaving and Kirstie Alley coming in, Cheers would have gone a long time ago.
Yes. Yes.
You are the Kirstie Alley, and I'm the first person to say it. I should have a T-shirt made. Russell Hantz is the Kirstie Alley of Survivor.
That's done.
Jonathan.
Fairplay just did that.
Fair.
Hey,
Yes,
Jonathan, we have two questions for you from fans who donated.
Yes.
One question wants to know real quick, of your 3 seasons, which one did you have the most fun on? Which one was your favorite?
Oh, I had fun on all of them. It's not a cop-out. It's not a cop-out. I loved playing on all 3 seasons. I got a lot out of all of them. And I wouldn't – it's like picking which is your favorite kid, you know? The first season, I learned a lot, and I really got to be like Robinson Crusoe, but I was also totally oblivious to the effect I was having on everybody else, that I was so antagonistic and so villainous. So I wasn't a villain, but that I really antagonized people. I never meant to, you know? And the second season, of course, I got injured, and I sort of screwed up in the first day or two with Fairplay, and if he's on, we can talk about that or not. But I played a pretty good game until I got hurt. And then the third time, I just shot myself in the foot, but I was certainly playing at the highest level that I had played at, you know. So they were all great. And how's that for an answer?
That was great. That was from Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
And Adam Sanders asks,
Adam Sandler.
Wow.
Adam Sanders. Adam Sandler would like to know, what was your favorite moment from your Survivor career? And as you're answering that, I also wanted to welcome Survivor legend Terry Deitz to the stream.
Terry,
thanks so much for
Captain America. My favorite moment, Adam. Hi, Terry. I'm just answering a quick question. My favorite moment of my Survivor career was I was on a podcast. I got asked a question by Adam Sanders, and I got to answer it. That absolutely was the highlight of fucking 15 years of Survivor for me. Other than that, my favorite moment, I guess, winning immunity or waking up with both my legs in the hospital and realizing that I probably would get to walk again. That was a highlight. What were some of the other good ones? Those are my tops. Knowing I would walk once more and winning immunity.
Okay.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
That's an amazing answer. I love that.
Okay.
I wanted to say, Rob, thanks for joining.
I'll answer anything. And I will take off my clothes for a big enough amount of money.
Whoa. Rob,
I wanted to say, Rob, thanks for joining.
Would you take off your clothes? This is the last question. Rob, would you take off your clothes for any amount of money?
For any amount of money, yes, I would. For $1, $2, any amount of money, I would do it. Yes.
Oh, any amount of money.
Thank you all for having me here. I feel like we covered so much ground. This was so great. Everyone, it was wonderful to see you. Please donate. The Penners are wonderful people. Okay. All right.
Money doesn't go to us.
Rob, you know one day we're playing together.
That's okay. Well, look, I would just be happy that there was Survivor back on the air.
Yes, Rob, I agree with that.
He's such a good social player here.
It's like he's been doing this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He's been doing this a little bit.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I got your back.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. All right. Enjoy. Good luck with the rest of the show, everybody. Bye, Terry.
I'm coming for you. Okay. What just happened?
Terry, can you hear us? Your internet. We can't hear you right now.
Terry, he's got the same face.
Fine,
Terry,
he can hear us.
Okay,
yo, guys.
Rob had a podcast, so that's why we lost Rob. I guess.
Terry, you look like you're in Borneo. Where are you, buddy?
He's always in Borneo. Terry,
with a beer.
I'm actually in Southern Carolina Beach, and my most favorite part is meeting John Penner and his lovely wife.
Okay. All right.
Terry Deitz, yeah.
I wish that I've never met John. Have we ever met? Because I don't
never
know.
in person.
Yeah.
You were really loaded. We actually had a long conversation.
Yeah. So we never met.
No, we never met.
I want to welcome another winner to the stream. I know we only have like 15 minutes left before the finale starts, but please welcome a two-time Survivor player and the winner of Survivor Panama. I want to welcome Aras to the stream. Aras, thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
What's happening, Aras?
Going, everybody? Sorry, I had to download a different web browser.
What's happening, man? So we have Terry right now live in Survivor Fiji, playing in Survivor 41. Terry, how are you doing? Terry.
I'm doing fine, thanks. And as long as Michael are here, we're all good.
So, how many houses do you have abroad? Because you need to be my best friend.
I'm not going to answer that, Russell. You see that?
So it's hard to stay still. I started my day in Denver this morning, but I'm back in Southern Cal and enjoying life. Yeah, we had that place in the Bahamas that got torn up by Dorian, but that's all fixed up. So now I'm back here surfing and hanging out with my son in the gym and hanging out with my wife. Southern California, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, I hear it. Aras, the best player to ever play the game. How are you? How are you today? I love the hair. Love the hair.
Yeah, I haven't had a haircut in COVID starting. Yeah,
I haven't had a haircut in like 25 years.
Jeff describes me as the best player to ever play. That's what he said. No, life is good. It's fun to see Terry, Jonathan. Good to see you, Russell. We've never gotten to meet in person?
No, never get to meet. Hey, I met Jonathan once. I don't remember. Maybe I met you once. John, I got to say right now that back in the day, I was a little wild. I think I was drunk 95% of the time. So, Jonathan, if I've ever met you, Aras, if I've ever met you, I apologize for,
no need to apologize. I have the tattoo, and I have no regrets.
Did we get a matching tattoo?
You and I.
Me and John? Okay. That's where that come from.
I wanna jump in here because Aras and Terry are both here, and this feels like too good of a lifelong Survivor fan to pass up. Considering when I was growing up, you guys aired, I think I was like 14, 15 years old. And Aras, no offense to you, but my entire family wanted you to lose so bad. We were just like, oh my God, this guy. Because Terry, we all love Terry. And I got to say, I've rewatched the season so many times. I'm just like, that rivalry is the greatest one in the history of the show. And the fact that both of you are such likable guys and you could convince like everybody that there needed to be a side to root for, it's still one of my all-time favorites. And I can't believe I'm sitting here with both of you on the screen right now. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting to look back. It's so long ago now, and it's funny because I feel like if I was watching the show, I would have been rooting for Terry too. Like who wouldn't?
I wasn't, but I wasn't. I was rooting for Aras. I mean, was that the thing to root for Terry and not Aras?
Well, I mean,
what's Terry doing?
What's he doing?
Aras, this is why I root for you now, man. This is it.
Don't do it, Terry.
Terry's having regrets. That's very funny.
It's a lot easier to turn on light switches.
No, but like what happens out there is like I think anytime you vote anybody out, consciously or unconsciously, you have to kind of criminalize them in your mind because it sucks to vote somebody out. Like at the soft place in your heart, it doesn't feel good. So when you have somebody out there who you recognize as you get them out, you win. Eventually, a rivalry happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I look back, I was 24. I was a kid, and I just have a lot of reverence for Terry. What a competitor to win that many challenges, and he was really like, I mean, we're all on an island, but Terry was on an island for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anybody to really trust or to play with. So Terry was, it was a hell of a rivalry, and Jesus, man, it was very humbling to get my ass kicked by, someone who was considered an old man. I was in my young 20s. Pretty much every challenge, Terry just
easy.
Yeah.
I feel like Terry would still beat me at 24 at his age now.
And Terry, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but Mitchell just donated and said you are his favorite player, and thanks for wishing him happy birthday last month. I'm not sure if you know Mitchell Schneider, but he says hi.
You know what? I remember that. I think I was out on the island. Like I said, my wife and Danny and I went out to the island and rebuilt that house. And there actually was a couple of people I spoke to out there. And I really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff, doing this kind of stuff for ALS and for Russell and Jonathan and getting to see all you guys again. It's always a beautiful reunion.
Yeah, buddy.
Have gone this with you guys all the time.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
We also have a donation from Christina for Aras. Christina would like to know if you would come back to play Survivor, who's someone who you haven't played with but you would love to play with if you ever came back.
I will. I guess let me start, but I don't want to come back. I don't have It's a lot more fun watching it on TV than it is to go out there and play. They did call me to see about my interest in the all-winter season, and I quickly said, I'm not interested. I had my experience. I won. I lost. But that being said, who would I like to see play again? I'd love to see Shane Powers play again. I'd love to see Russell play again. I think those are people that, like, you mix it up, love them, hate them, like people that just really entertain. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to play again, I had to play again, I would want to play with 50 people who have never played before, that's for sure. Because I think I'd have an advantage there. I wouldn't want to play with anyone who's already played. That would be, like, why would I want someone with experience out there?
Hey, Terry, would you? I know your second chance got cut a little short. Would you play again if you were asked?
It would have to be the right situation and timing, with the airline thing and everything else. So we've got a lot going on here within the family, and it would be a timing thing. Plus, I'm getting old. I mean, I can't even think about relying on some of the tactics I used last time. And, these people come out, and a lot of them are so smart and so athletic at the same time. I mean, I think what I did was a one-time thing. I got lucky, right time, right place. So if the timing's right, I'd go. Otherwise, no.
There you go. That gives me some hope. That gives me some.
Jonathan, Russell, what about you guys?
For me, I would play again, and I think that I will play again. So, I mean, I don't know how far I would go. People have perceptions of me as, the biggest villain in Survivor history. But at the end of the day, when you see me play, it's not that. But, so I don't know. It would be hard only because the perception of Russell Hantz. And, but I'd still give it my best shot. Even if I'm going home first, I would still give it my best shot. I would try my best no matter what. But yes, I would play again.
Jonathan, what about you?
I would probably play. Yeah, thanks. I would probably play again if the timing was right. Obviously I've got stuff at home now that, it means that I can't go for hopefully forever, But if the timing worked out, and I could move my ass. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Terry, but I'm 58 and slow. So, I've never won. I haven't had that experience. And I've never gone on the trip from the early pre-jury boots. I've never had that experience. One I'm really looking forward to trying to have. The other one I would not be as happy getting. So, is it possible to play again? Sure, of course. I loved it. I love playing Survivor. It's the most fun you can have. It's one of those high intensity experiences that you always kind of think about, how do I get back to the island, because life is really rich for those days.
It is. I oftentimes, to this day, I still have nightmares that Jeff Probst tells me, no, there's one, you haven't won. And you got to, beat Terry in something that he's going to probably be really good at, like army crawls or catching baseball bare hand or something like that.
You have dreams about Jeff Probst?
He has dreams about Jeff Probst and Terry.
And Jeff Probst's like, no, wait. There's one more.
Aras, you never had dreams of me? Just think if you put Jeff Probst, Terry, and me in that dream.
Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it's getting to the point we're about to wrap up. So I'm going to start with saying thank you to Aras for joining. We really appreciate you coming in, helping us raise some money and awareness for the fight against ALS. Thank you so much, Aras.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, man.
Great meeting you, Aras.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you, pal.
Terry keeps dipping in and out. We'll say bye to him if he comes back. But for all those watching, especially to the ones who have been here for the full, 3 hours, 27 minutes and counting. So we still have about 500 people. We raised $1,518 during the stream.
Guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to, and the donations, keep them coming, because during the finale, you can keep donating. We're going to do a live recap show with myself, Russell, the Survivor Specialist. Jonathan, you're welcome to join if you'd like. It'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 7 p.m. Pacific Time, where we're going to recap the top 10. Please continue to donate. You can continue asking questions during that. It's going to start here in 2 minutes, live on the Russell Hantz Show. So thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in, for donating, for asking questions. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Russell. Thanks, everybody, for doing this for us.
Keep donating. Keep donating.
Yes.
It is 100% of the proceeds goes to ALS. It is something that needs to be understood. We don't get it right now. Let's understand it. The more money we put in it, the more we understand it. That's what we're trying to do. So, you know, just trying to help.
Thank you, pal. Thanks everybody for giving.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Go watch the finale episode, counting down numbers 10 to 1. It's going to start here in just 2 minutes, live on the Russell Hantz Show. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching and donating. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Bye, everyone.